Hello everybody and welcome to the London EPrix. It is the final round of the 2023 campaign, the last round of Season 9. And yesterday, in one of the longest races we've ever had, finally, after disappointment 2 years ago in Berlin, Jake Dennis became a Formula E world champion as well. He's got the maximum points. So today it's all about who can win the Constructors' Championship. And it is very, very close as well. Envision are tied with Porsche. So it's all out war as well. Andretti are coming in on the fight. So is Jaguar. So it's all up to play for as well. Alongside me in the commentary box of the race, just like he has been throughout the day, but making a Formula E commentary box debut, is Omi. And down in the pits for a little bit before they go off and do another series is Jess and Josh. But Omi, starting with you, we've been put through the ringer today and this weekend at Spa, and guess what? It's a wet race. It's dry indoor and wet outdoor. God knows what we're going to see.
Oh, Formula E chaos. There has really been a lot of Formula E chaos this year. And there is going to be a tiny bit more. So really going to be interested. Really excited for this. I didn't get to watch yesterday. But yeah, Jake Dennis, the champion. So congrats to him.
A really good job. And Jess and Josh were with me in the comments box when that happened. And Josh, we were literally waiting around forever. It took over an hour to finish 5 laps. It was ridiculous.
Yep. It was absolutely insane, but we got there in the end. We crowned our first ever British FIA Formula E World Champion in the name of Jake Dennis. Today's a dead heat in the drivers, but all eyes goes towards the constructors.
And Jess as well, just before you disappear off to touring cars with Josh and then you're racing later on as well, just give us an example. Have you ever been in a situation in esports as well when the Drivers' Championship has all been wrapped up, you're racing a bit for fun, but there's so much pressure still on the garage for Envision and at Jaguar as well. So what would you think would be going through their minds? Is it team game today?
I don't know really. It's quite tough. To be honest, I've never been in that situation myself, but I've experienced some other situations where the constructors were still to be decided, and I think there's plenty of other team positions to be decided too. So they've got to think about that. But yeah, it may be some team games played a bit more, and if Envision want to win, they can't do what they did yesterday. Just no, they can't. Bremi's got to play a bit more of the team game, I reckon.
Well, it was a very interesting qualifying session where 3 points were on the line, and they could be the 3 points that make or break this Constructors' Championship as well. Group A, the ones who went through, Cassidy, Dennis, Boemi and Bird, the expected lot. Group B, Evans, Miller, Nato and Van Dorn. Nato going through. Quarterfinals, A, Boemi versus Dennis. Dennis was the victory. In Duel B in the quarterfinals, Bird versus Cassidy. Cassidy won. Duel C, it was Nato versus Muller, and we have actually got a delayed start, I'm now being told as well, due to the weather conditions out there.
Oh,
so there's a lot of puddles out, so we are currently in a delay to proceedings. In Group D, Group C, sorry, Nato versus Muller. Nato won, and Duel D, Van Dorn versus Evans. Semi-final 1, Dennis versus Cassidy. Cassidy won. Semi-final 2, Nato versus Evans. Evans won. And in the poll, it tied up the Envision of Cassidy versus the Jaguar of Evans. So the two linked on the same amount of points in the Constructors' Championship. Cassidy went fastest as well. He got the 3 points for pole position, and that changed up everything as well. But let's go over it. Dario Franchitti has talked with our new world champion, Jake Dennis.
In Rome and then coming here, home race, fans, obviously what was at stake. I really felt like everyone was against me. So just always calculating the risk versus reward of what you should do. Like the move I did on Nick was super important. I had to do it, high risk.
Jake Dennis is going to try and hold it up the inside. Can he go through? Yes, he can.
I sort of reset, came back after the first red flag and felt good. I knew I was fast. I just needed to keep my front wing alive and finish the race.
To me, this championship, it's unlike, I think, any others. It's different. And it's really, really difficult. But you, from day one, it just gelled. You were straight out of the box, quite, championship contender in your rookie season. Why?
I just gelled with the car immediately. Felt like I've just always developed. The team's really grown with me.
Jake Dennis wins in London.
Come on! Oh my God, yes!
You showed up here. You've won it multiple times. You win your world championship here at home. Is it this track you gel with, or is it the fact that you've got the crowd here just, singing your name today? How cool is that?
The track just gels with me really well. It's good rhythm. I always feel good in Sector 1 with this high grip. I mean, the boys gave me a rocket ship. Now I can just enjoy tomorrow and just sort of have the day off.
You got a team's championship to try and win. Can you do it?
I mean, we're world champions, so why not?
So Wednesday this week, you met up with Chris Hoy. Did he teach you anything? Did he just add more pressure? How was that?
No, it was a real good insight to how to approach the weekend. You've got all this pressure riding on you, you've got the bosses watching, you've got your family and friends. He's been in that position where it's like 1 against 1, and I feel like for those guys it's probably even more high pressured, and it was really great to just speak to a normal guy as well. He really appreciated the hard work I'd put in to be in that position, and it was really good understanding.
Right, most important question. How are you going to celebrate?
It's going to be the gala on Sunday night. I mean, I've got all my family and friends there, so I'm sure we're going to have a really special one. But I'm actually just looking forward to eating some food, have a chocolate bar in a minute, and maybe even treat myself to a dessert tonight.
Good lad. Jake, world
Legend.
champion.
Thank you
Well
so much.
done.
Thank you.
Well, Jake Dennis clearly is one very happy boy, and understandably so. Now, I'm delighted to say that joining me now, former Andretti teammate Oliver Askew, and no less than 11 world titles, of course, Sir Chris Hoy. It's a pleasure to have you both here. Oliver, you know Jake better than anyone. Just describe to us how much this really means to him, winning a world championship title, which he hasn't done for 13 years since he did it in karting.
Yes, like you said, Jake Dennis is now a world champion. There's a very small percentage of drivers in the world who can say that. And I had the opportunity to share a garage with him last year at Avalanche Andretti, and I can say that he definitely deserves it. He works extremely hard, and he's a very, very talented racer. Now he has the opportunity to fight for a team's championship this afternoon.
So that is what the focus is on now, the team's championship. And we're currently standing between Envision and we've got the Jaguar guys at 3 points between them. Chris, you know what it's like, how competitive it's going to be between these guys. What's the key to success?
The key to success is everybody doing their job, and everybody trusts everyone else to do that job. So it's when there's doubt, it's when you're not sure if everyone is going to be on the same page, that's when there's a miscommunication. That's kind of what happened with Envision yesterday. It seems as though they've got themselves sorted. They had a fantastic qualifying, but anything can happen, especially with this rain that's just started. It's going to really throw a spanner in the works for everybody.
So let's take a look at how they line up on the grid then. It is Cassidy and Evans, 1 and 2. Then Nato, Dennis, Van Dorn, Bird, Boemi Muller, Ticton Verline, Van Dorn, Mortara, Rast, Lodderer, Sede Camera, Gunther, Degrassi, Fenestraz, Hughes, DaCosta, Merry and Frines, the running order. So Jess, just coming to you actually for a second, because I know you're disappearing soon. But this is really, I don't know how to call it. Yesterday, everything went wrong for Envision. It went wrong for Jaguar. Now we're here today. We're just sort of going like, well, Evans has done doubles before. He could easily just win it again. He did it, of course, in Berlin. We were there commentating.
By the way, they've gone, so.
Oh, then I'll ask the same question to you then, Omi.
I'm unsure. I'm someone with not a lot of Formula E knowledge. You're gonna have to put up with me today. I can only really tell you stuff when we actually get into the race.
No worries. No worries. Look, it's a pleasure to have you. Look, we've been commentating all day together, and now we did F3, F2. Jess, you did Porsches, but I was in the pits. Then we did the F1 together. Now we're doing Formula E. We've done them all today, which is quite a rare thing. But it's nice to know as well. This is the end of a season. It does feel weird for me. It's the middle of the year, and this is the end of Formula E. We won't see it again until January for season 10, and we've got the pre-season testing, of course. But it's weird. Do you reckon they should spread it out a bit more throughout the year?
Yeah. I personally think they should, because a lot of motorsports just saying it's only Formula One that goes all the way to the end. Obviously they have the earlier start, so yeah, maybe they can end a bit. Maybe they can end a bit earlier, but it is quite early. It is quite early, and a lot of motorsports end here. So it's really only we got to put up with the boring Formula One for the rest of the season as well. So. Yeah, but I'm just looking forward to Abu Dhabi until we get F2 again. Obviously, we have it in Zandvoort and Monza. We don't have F3 in Zandvoort though, but we still have F2 there. But it's gonna be a long wait till Abu Dhabi until we get to the Formula 2 races there, because I think the feeder series really do help the F1 weekend quite a bit action-wise for all of the fans. Like I look forward to actually the weekend more with F2 and F3, but with them not there, it's going to be a bit boring.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a weird weekend without it, and it's going to be even stranger not doing Formula E. But I tell you what, I'm not going to miss the 7:20 or 6:20 wake-up calls like at Monaco. There was one.
However,
Go on, yeah.
however, I'm hoping in Zandvoort they keep the timing after. I'm hoping they keep it after the practice 3 for the Formula 2 and don't move it to the morning on Saturday.
Yes, yeah, I'm hoping that too. But we have got 2 Porsche races to keep in. That's what I'm worried about.
Maybe do one Porsche in the morning then.
Could be as well. Touring cars, by the way, will be coming up on JB Motorsports on YouTube. Race 2 and Race 3 will there later on Twitch as well. Welcome to everyone on Twitch, by the way, watching in on us. The race, well, right, we were going to delay. Now the track has been declared wet, and they are going to schedule it on time. So we're looking forward to it, but it's time for the grid walk, and we'll hand back over to Nikki.
Some absolutely spectacular scenes here in London. You can see it's a jam-packed stadium. It really is a fantastic atmosphere here. The music's pumping, everyone's dancing, and it's already been the venue of some spectacular action earlier on in the week.
Formula E is a sport built on drivers battling right down to the line. In a venue unlike any other, with a car tweaked to leave all of its energy on the track, that's the formula for a very special kind of competition.
In an attempt to break the world indoor land speed record.
The drivers have a little over 230 metres to beat the current record of 165.2 kilometres an hour.
The drivers are not alone in this challenge.
Nice to meet you. Jake, nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you, man. Good to meet you.
Yeah, I knew, mate.
It's like a bucket list, honestly, to say I've met you, honestly. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Here with Lucas and Jake, one of these guys is going to break the world record, so who's it going to be?
Me.
We'll have to see.
We've got the one and only. A man who's no stranger to Guinness World Records. We've got Eddie Hall. And we've got a woman who knows more about cars than Einstein knew about gravity. Supercar Blondie.
Wow.
How are we doing?
That was a good intro, I like that.
We try. I can hear tinkering. I think it's time to go watch the world record get broken.
Let's do it.
Excited.
Each driver has only one attempt to break the world record. Up first is Jake Hughes. Wow. This is looking quick. It's looking quick. It's looking quick. Oh, it's a 2:18.71. Woo! He now has the world indoor land speed record. Jake Hughes.
Mega. New world record for the moment, right? Until Lucas tries to beat it, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Record holder.
I mean,
Congrats,
cheers,
man.
mate.
Well done, buddy.
You are.
I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing.
Jake, you were officially a world record holder. How do you feel?
This is like one of the best feelings I've ever had. Honestly, I don't know why, I had so much relief. It felt like I just crossed the line winning the World Championship.
Well, what a spectacular achievement. Huge congratulations to Formula E and Jake Hughes there. Now, I am delighted to say that joining me now is Envision driver Nick Cassidy. Pole position yet again. This is like deja vu from yesterday. And it's good to see you with a smile on your face. What is the strategy going to be for the start of today's race?
Yeah, interesting one. Obviously, the weather is fairly interesting. So, quite a different race. But really proud to be starting here both days in London. It's incredible.
It's fantastic. You haven't had a pole position all season, and now you've done it twice.
Yeah, I
in
know.
London.
I mean, I was quite lucky with Mitch yesterday having the penalty, but really cool fight with him in both finals, having him there, and it was really nice.
Brilliant. Now, obviously, we keep talking about it. There's a lot to play for with the team's championship. So all eyes are kind of going to be on you and Sebastian Bremy, who's a little bit further back. Because ultimately, you've got to bring home the points for the team's championship. Just 3 points in it at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously between myself and Mitch, there's a small margin for the drivers. But to be honest, for me, it's about making a statement today. I feel like I've been Jake's closest guy all year, and I wish we could have taken it to this race. And unfortunately, yesterday didn't play out. So we'll do our best to win today.
You managed to put yesterday behind you and just fully focused on today, or have you learned from yesterday? What can you take from it?
I've learned who my friends are. I guess that means I haven't forgotten yesterday.
All right, well, good luck for
Thanks very
the
much.
race today, and we really hope to see you on the podium. Now, this is, of course, a star-studded grid here in London for the grand finale. Let's go down to Saunders.
He was here in New York last season, in Portland this season, and now in London. Jaden Smith is in the house again. Welcome back.
Yo, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here. You know I love electric car racing. You know I love electric cars and supporting the cause, so I'm just glad to be here.
So yesterday you saw Jake Dennis crowned champion. Today we're going to see the team's champion. And what is the buzz like? It's super exciting.
It's really exciting. I mean, the world champion, you know, I've been to a lot of races before, but to be here at like the world championship, like that's crazy. So I'm excited. Everybody seems very excited. There's a lot of people here today, so I'm stoked.
Well, it's awesome to have you here. Thanks, Jaden.
Yo, thank you.
I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by BAFTA Award-winning, Academy Award-winning, Golden Globe Award-winning Christoph Waltz. Christoph, a slight departure from
It's
your normal
Blofeld.
setting. What have you made of Formula E?
Not really. Equal amount of adrenaline.
Not very, very interesting. What have you learned from kind of being here and speaking to drivers and everyone you have?
I tell you the difference, the basic difference is the acceleration. I took a lap on the safety car. I have never in my life experienced anything like that in my body or in my mind. It was a Porsche, and I think it does 0 to 100 in 2.6 seconds, something like that. I don't think I did it all the way to the fastest, but I mean, I'm still dizzy, and it was about an hour ago.
It boggles the mind what they do. Christoph, thank you very much for your time and enjoy your Formula E experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Have fun too, everyone.
Thank
It's
you.
incredible. Thank you.
Well, it really is an absolutely star-studded grid here. You can see it's packed shoulder to shoulder. Everyone is here ready for the final showdown. Not long before the lights go out here at the XL.
Yes, around about 10 minutes until the start of the world feed as well. And the atmosphere is building. We really don't know what's going to happen next. It's going to be one of those weekends. Now, hopefully, TweetDeck is working. However, we know it's been going behind a paywall recently. Thank you very much, Mr. Elon Musk. But I think it's actually going to work for a little bit anyway. So
Yay.
enjoy TweetDeck. Hang on a minute. I'm stepping on my headphones up here in the commentary box because it's saying something. What's it saying? Hey, it's loading. Enjoy it. This is the last time we'll see it. Update. It's very wet, apparently. So that's even better. You'll see the conditions out there coming. And it is very wet. You can see on the TweetDeck. I'm
Yeah.
thinking safety car. I'm thinking red flags. I'm thinking we're not going to get out of here until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Do these guys have a cut off, or are we continuing all throughout the night?
They've got the normal regulation, which is the race must be completed within 2 hours.
Okay.
My house phone
Right.
is ringing. I can hear it through the commentary box. That's new. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. But it's going to be one of those days, I'm afraid. If it's raining here in London, God knows what it's doing at Croft. So the round of the touring cars is going to be very, very exciting. You can join Jess and Josh for all the action from race 3. So get that up on a multi-streamer on a different device and just keep across both of them here. That's on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, just stay with us here. That's the place to be as well. For Formula E. Oh, I've just come through.
Also, the Sky F1 highlights beat the F1 highlights today. As well.
Really? Wow. Well, it was a better race, in my opinion.
Yep.
If you're wondering
The Sky's
why...
highlights.
Sorry, if you're wondering why we're not talking, we're just receiving some information about the track.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully the F2 highlights get uploaded. They've already made them because they're already on F1 TV, but I would prefer if they're on YouTube, which is much more easier to watch on my TV downstairs rather than screen sharing and then
Yeah.
having blurriness and too
It's I
complicated.
hate screen sharing. It's it's awful. That we're doing it now, and the problems you're running into is unbelievable. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're getting ready. So it's going to be a 34 lap race. It's 2 laps less than what we had yesterday. In fact, yesterday went to a total of yesterday actually, if I remember correctly, went to a total of 37 laps. But it took us ages with the red flags to get in because you were off doing ERC. So we had basically an hour-long red flag with 2 red flags in between. It was quite confusing. So fingers crossed it's going to be good. Fingers crossed we're going to have a good race. The last one of the year, and I actually get to commentate on it. It's not in Seoul either, like it was last season. It's a shame not to have Edward Hunter with me in the commentary box. It's a delight to have you with me, Amy, as well, to call it. And we're going to hand back over. We're getting ready for the start, so it's back over to Nikki.
Well, we really are moments away before racing gets underway. The drivers are putting their helmets on. You can see Mitch behind, about to jump in the car. Joining me now is the team principal of Jaguar TCS Racing, James Barkley. James, this is a big one for you guys, a huge amount at stake with the team's championship. Also, you know, for Mitch, he wants to battle his way up to take the second in the drivers' championship. Tell us where your head's at right now.
Oh, this is awesome. This is amazing.
It is awesome, you're right.
We've worked for nearly 2 years to develop this new car this year. It's been our most successful racing car, the Jaguar I-Type 6. To have ourselves and our customer team racing for the team title is exactly what we aim for. So this is job done. The rest that happens today, I always say, is the gravy on top. Right? This is the good bit, but this is sport. Anything can happen, but the team have done an amazing job, both teams, to get to this point. Now it's enjoy the moment. This is what we work so hard for. You know, make it enjoyable, and we're going to go and have a great race. It's wet outside, honestly, so the levels have just gone up another notch in terms of the anxiety, but listen, it's a sport, great sport.
I was going to say, if you could enjoy the next 45 minutes, credit to you, James, because I'm stressed out just by the fact that there is so much at stake for you guys, and you work so hard.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, of course, the anxiety's there for all of us, but listen, at the end of the day, like I said, this is the moment to enjoy and be proud of. If you ask me if I want to be anywhere else, absolutely not. This is what we've worked for, this is what we're gunning for, and you know, what an incredible job from both our drivers, Mitch and Sam, today, which has been honestly flawless. So let's go and enjoy this, and hopefully we have a really great 45 minutes of racing, clean racing. Of course, the conditions make it, you know, likely for errors, and let's hope we're not caught up in anyone else's. The main thing is going to do the best job we can.
Exactly. Well, good luck for a nice, clean race. We will keep our fingers crossed that rain doesn't spoil it for anybody, because we are in Great Britain at the end of the day. And just have a fantastic one. We'll see you at the end.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, there we have it. What a way to close the grid here in London. The show is about to get underway, and any minute now we will see the lights go out. But before we do, we want the drivers to really raise the roof of the Excel Centre. Here we go.
The Drivers' Championship was won yesterday. Today, the Team Championship will be determined. The top 2 teams both on the front row. It's Kiwi versus Kiwi. Starting second on the grid, representing Jaguar TCS Racing, give it up for Mitch Evans. And the pole sitter driving for Envision Racing, make some noise for Nick Cassidy. Now it's time to raise the roof of the London season finale. Show your love for Tiny Temper.
And we'll just turn that down as well, so we don't get into trouble with any copyright as well, which is what we usually see around there. So I'll just turn it down as Tiny Temper beats away. I'll tell you what though, I mean, it is a nice rhythm. They are bringing it in, aren't they, as well, to have a really strong run around, and Tiny Temper's actually on the grid in between doing a rap. I thought, don't we have the British national anthem or something at this point? Something a bit British, but no, we're going to go full on Tiny Temper mode, which is fantastically funny. But it's always the same. I remember one year we had a bunch of ballerinas on the front of the grid here, and it was literally just like a scene from Swan Lake. It was absolutely hilarious. But the race is going to be absolutely epic. I cannot wait. 34 laps on a wet track, and we've got like, what, 75% outdoor as well, 15% indoor, and that's going to create so much drama down towards, well, literally turn 1.
Yeah, my first full race was, I think, Diriyah last year.
Yes.
Where I decided to commentate for fun. And I remember those. I remember that battle for the win. That was incredible, wasn't it? It was 2 wide, 2 wide. They were almost going 4 wide for the lead. So enjoy that. I don't know why. I just remember that as my first Formula E race that I ever watched in full. But yeah, last season I just watched a few. Didn't watch all of them. Didn't really get into it just for fun, really. But yeah, Formula E, great season. One of the series that has had a good season this year, along with Formula 2 as well. But yeah, really did it. Looking forward to this race. I think it's going to be an absolutely electric one.
Oh, that's Moto E when you're in. My goodness. Moto E is the electric, but yeah, it is electric here as well. The atmosphere.
Now, what series have I not done yet? What series have I not done yet?
Well, you've done F1, 2, 3 Porsche. You've done now Formula E. You've done touring cars. You've done IndyCar. You've done Le Mans, and I think you've done them all.
Now I haven't had my camera open, but I have done Moto E because you just kept throwing to me, and Moto 2 and Moto 3.
Yeah.
And then Moto GP, I think I did a race as well where I was talking quite a bit.
Yeah, so I think you've done them all. The motos as well.
Yeah.
I think every series we cover, you've covered at some point as well. So I think you've done it. I think we've all done it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 90% convinced. And we'll keep you on the battle screen, by the way, just for until the lights come on so that you can watch TweetDeck, so you're not just looking at us talking until the lights come out, which is not what anybody wants. And TweetDeck is actually interesting to keep an eye on what's happening out there on the track. I think, though, you are absolutely spot on. I think we've done everything. I cannot think of one series that we haven't done. I'm looking around for inspiration, but I haven't got all the commentary notes up. So, yeah. I think we've done it.
I went on the motorsport schedule. And I couldn't find anything there.
Yeah.
So I guess everything we cover is on there. So yeah, I think I've done them all.
You haven't done a NASCAR yet, but that we
don't cover that.
Yeah, we haven't officially done a NASCAR yet. We've done NASCAR for USRN, but me and Josh have, but we haven't done a NASCAR race just yet. We're going to try and do one as a tester before next season. As well, because we're planning on doing it.
I'll be doing one. I'm sure I'll be doing one at least next year at some point.
Oh, God, yeah. Here it comes then, though. Enjoy the final Formula E race of 2023. Doesn't it seem so long ago when we started in January for round one back in Mexico City? Well, 7 months later, here we are. Welcome to the London EPrix. It's round 16 of 16 in season 9 of ABB FIA Formula E. We're racing at the XL Centre in the central of London as well. It's absolutely epic. The whole atmosphere is through the roof, literally around the XL, along the river. We could not be any more in the heart of London. 2.009 kilometres, a total of 34 laps today. Turn 1, a very heavy braking zone indoor. It turns you into a left-hander, then a right, a left, and a right again. 2 rights covering you outside. Turn 10, heavy on the regen spot as well. Turn 16 is where attack mode's located down at the bottom of the hill, considering your driver tracker. And then you come back inside at 17 and into the field as well. Here's the starting grid though from back to front. A penalty for Robin Friends has put him into 22nd position. He's alongside Roberto Meri 21st. Antonio Felix da Costa starts 20th. Jake Hughes is 19th on the grid. 18th for Sasha Fenestras. Lucas de Grassi is in 17th. 16th on the grid, that comes Maximilian Gunther alongside Sergio Sette Camara. 14th on the grid, that goes to Andre Lotterer. He's alongside Rene Rast in the McLaren in 13th place. Eduardo Mortara is 12th in the Maserati. John-Eric Verne 11th in the DS Penske. 10th for Pascal Verland, the Tag Heuer Porsche. Dan Tinctum on home soil starts 9th for the Neo 333. Nico Muller is 8th alongside Sebastian Buemi for Envision Virgin Racing in 7th position. Sam Bird starts his last race currently in Formula E and certainly with Jaguar in 6th alongside DS Penske, Stoffel Van Dorn in 5th. Our world champion Jake Dennis starts 4th alongside Norman Nato in 3rd. And the front row, Jaguar versus Envision for the team's title, Evans v Cassidy. Well, Cassidy got pole position yesterday and then got a penalty, started 6th on the grid, and then got taken out, of course, by his teammate Sebastian Buemi. Today, that can't happen. Buemi starts 7th, Cassidy starts on pole, Evans starts 2nd, Bird starts 6th. So it's literally side by side per the teams. 15 seconds until the formation lap, which basically they'll roll forward from 4 places on the grid. They'll roll forward, heat up the tyres, and line up on the grid. Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi. On the world feed, if we need them, is Tom Brooks, Dario Fankiti, and Karun Chanhok as well. But Omi, the green flag is coming. We're ready for the start, and it's literally going to be insane because we're underway. It's lights out, and the final race of ABB FIA Formula E is go. We're starting the race behind the safety car due to the track conditions. We weren't told that information before we got going, but the final race of ABB FIA Formula E is go, and the safety car will start this race. Well, Omi, we're underway, and the final race, a safety car. Not really the best way to start the race.
Not the best way, but it's really been across the. It's really been a bit of a slide there for one of the cars as well. But it really has been across all series. It's really been like this, where a lot of safety car starts, a lot of wet. So yeah, Formula 2 is the only series where it had both standing starts.
2 seconds.
Changes that the torque of the electric motors. These guys.
Go on. Sorry, Scott Elkins was there, our race director. Do continue.
Oh, yeah, no worries. If anything happens, then just interrupt me because I don't really know how the radios and all that works here. But yeah, a bit of a disappointment, but obviously safety is priority once again. And we've seen some massive crashes in Formula E this season, haven't we?
I reckon this will go red flag, you know, because there's a lot of spray.
Bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of spray.
Yeah.
It's really bad as well. It's a street track, so it's a normal street track with normal public roads. It hasn't been resurfaced in any way. It's a normal street track, and there's a lot of standing water. The race has begun, though. This is officially lap 1 of 34. So this is the official start of the London E-Prix. The last race of the year has started behind the safety car. This is the championship. Envision on 271 points, Jaguar on 268, Porsche 241, Avalanche on 236. They're now out of it. So are Porsche. It's a dead heat between Envision and Jaguar, the only 2 who can win this World Championship as we start lap 2 of 34, and we're still behind the safety car. We will have added laps added on with this time, though, so technically we're not losing time. It's a different rule than in Formula 1. The race has started behind the safety car, not the formation laps. So the time and the time will keep ticking down, the laps will keep ticking up, and once we reach 34, we'll go there. But there's a lot of rain, and if the drivers aren't happy, they will throw the red flag because it's still raining. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of spray, especially downhill braking zone. It's the first time you meet it. So they've sort of got to just drag the water around, haven't they, and just hope it gets a line. But it's really bad. I wouldn't be surprised if we go red.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised as well, but obviously these guys not having a formation, they have the dummy grid, and then they go over to the main one. However, yeah, hopefully we are able to. Hopefully we are going to get some racing, but it does look very bad. A lot of spray, and in Formula E, where we have seen a lot of crashes as well, I wouldn't be surprised if they do make it a red flag.
Yeah, it's really bad now. It's dropping off the XL building as well. A lot more water running off its roof. So the safety car's out at the moment, but.
Control. We're going to do one more lap behind the safety car. One more lap behind the safety car.
Okay, Scott Elkins is saying one more lap behind the safety car. So we're going to go
racing?
We are going to go racing. So we'll do lap 3 and then we'll go green with 30 laps to go. And predictably, we might see a massive accident. So stand by for what I believe is going to be absolute carnage. But Cassidy has officially led a lap.
Yeah, so I think there's gonna be carnage because we were just like, well, red. We were just like, well,
here's
we could be
Crackers.
seeing
From Scott Elkins, the race director.
No, that graphic just keeps getting put up, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, that's every time we see it, we sort of go, oh, it's Scott, we've got to hear from him, but no. So this is the final lap behind the safety car. This starts lap 3. So obviously they're happy enough to get the race going, but these we've seen even yesterday, they can't be trusted in the dry at this track. They can't be trusted in the wet. So they're going to go locking up. I reckon as soon as we hit the water, down to the bottom of the hill, we're going to have a huge accident and the race will get stopped again.
Yep. Where's Dan Tickton? Starting 9th.
It's raining really hard, actually. Electric power as well is not great, as it's still I can't. But look, they're all sliding every time. Look,
Yeah.
have you noticed? They come out from underneath the dry section of the track into the rain. As soon as they hit it, it's bam, lost it round. And this is Sebastian Buemi at turn 16. And oh no, hang on a minute. Oh, is he taking attack mode? What? Is that? And that was Dennis taking attack mode, but he hasn't armed it. I think he aquaplaned. I don't think he meant to take it. The safety car will enter the pits. It will be a standing start. What?
What?
But this isn't. This is the start of the race. We haven't. It's not. That's not the rules.
What?
We're going to have a standing start, but it's not. We've already had the start. It was behind the safety car. It's not formation laps behind the safety car. We're on lap 3 of 34, but they're going to go for a standing start in these conditions. So what was the point in starting behind the safety car then?
Oh my God. FIA classic decisions.
So we've had 3 laps, 3 official laps, I'd like to point out. The race is underway, the safety car is coming in, and we are going to have a standing start on the grid. I've never seen that before. We've had standing starts after formation laps, but look, it's lap 4 now, Scott Elkins.
Yes, the safety car is back out. We're going to do safety car again here. Safety car again.
Yes, safety car's back out. So I think they've realised here. Hang on, the race has actually started, not the formation laps. So look, we've got green lights, but
What is? The race has already begun.
Scott Elkins has had some sort of seizure in the race controller. He's got no idea what's going on. We've had nothing. This is ludicrous. The race has started. As soon as we pulled away, the race had begun. There is no formation lap system in Formula E like we have in Formula 1, 2 and 3. In Formula E, if the race starts behind the safety car, that's it. That's the start procedure. Then we go and we do a rolling start. So why the standing start was there, I don't know. The safety car's now been deployed again. And I've never seen this mess. And they can't do a standing start. Yes, it's dry inside, but as soon as you get outside, you can have a million cars pile into the wall. Oh my word.
Has the Scott guy race director person, has he just been watching too much Formula 1 with how their rules work?
Scott Elkins is usually quite a good race director. He's had his moments, especially in Saudi Arabia a couple of years ago in Diriyah. Here's Bird.
The driver has done pretty much every Formula E race.
It's getting worse in areas, guys. It's getting worse.
Red flag's going to have to come out.
Looks like he's practicing rally driving.
It's getting worse, not better. It's getting worse. To save the laps we have left, I would throw the red flag now, Scott Elkins, the race director. So they're coming.
So how often do these guys? How often do they listen to the drivers, though?
A lot. Here's Dennis.
Dennis, team radio.
Man, we really can't race in this.
It's too bad, yeah.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
That's Bird and Dennis have just said it's too bad we can't race, and we're going to go on to lap 5 of the race. So it's 5 of 34. They will have added time back, but the thing is, it's dry inside. So you've got this horrible greasiness of the drivers. You see them, they're drying their tyres. Well, what are they going to do here then? What on earth are they going to do? Why we had a standing start? And then the rain got heavier, so they've had to throw the safety car again. But this should be a red flag procedure. It shouldn't have even started, Omi. It shouldn't have even started.
Yeah. Shouldn't have even started, but okay, if they wanted to try and see how the track was, a few laps, the track's not good enough, should now be a red flag. They're wasting laps, they're wasting time, they're wasting everything right now.
Yeah. Unless they want to go for a total restart, so the first race doesn't count, they'll recharge the batteries and we'll try again, which is in the regulations. If they declare the first half of the race null and void, you can recharge the batteries up to maximum and go again. This is Sergio Sete Camara into the braking zone at turn 16. Oh, he's gone for attack mode. He has actually gone for attack mode. And so, yeah, a few of them did, thinking the race was going to start. But it didn't, and it's not been armed yet because the race hasn't actually started. So this is like Spa 21. We don't actually know if the race has started or not. We're seeing a lap counter, like you are at home, saying lap 5 of 34. But oh, this is ludicrous. It's really bad now. It's stupidly bad. This is also a fast, bumpy part of the track, Omi, down towards turn 16. It's narrow and it's bumpy. Red flag, and the race is stopped. It had to be.
Yeah.
We couldn't go racing in this. So the red flag is out for the second race running. We had a stoppage yesterday due to, well, we actually had 2 stoppages.
Everyone else is doing burnouts and working a lot on the rear axle. And I'm trying not to do that at the moment.
Race control, please listen up. Here's what I'd like everybody to do. Let's follow red flag procedures. Let's park in front of your garage and park for May conditions. Here's the deal. I'm getting in reports that this weather's going to move out in about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the sweepers out and clean the track a little bit. We'll delay for a few minutes here to try to get conditions a little bit better, and then we'll get this thing restarted. That's the plan.
See, that's what it is with a good race director. He can talk to all of the drivers as well. So he's not just talking to the teams there. That is Scott Oaken talking to the drivers themselves. So, red flag for the third time here in London this week. We had 2 red flags yesterday, one due to Sasha Fenestraz veering off the track at turn 16 and hitting the barrier, and then another when Sebastian Buemi and Norman Nato caused a traffic jam at turn 16. But this is now due to the weather conditions. We've run 5 laps. We have now, the thing is with Formula E as well, because we have usable energy and there's always more in the battery, the lap counter stops. So it resets itself. So we may, look, have you noticed we're still on lap 5? So they will stay lap 5 until we go back to the green.
Teams, just for clarification, so everyone's aware, team managers, please listen closely here. The wet track sign was posted prior to the race. The wet track was posted prior to the race, so you do have permission to adjust tire pressures in Parc Fermé.
Right, so they can change the tire pressures. That's good news then. Well, third time and a third red flag. Well, this is just... It was the conditions only, wasn't it? Why we even started, I don't know. We could have delayed for 10, 15 minutes. We didn't need to have this. And now, once again, we're here with the red flag.
Yep. Once again, red flag. Hopefully, hopefully the rain does go away and we are able to get racing, but under those conditions, currently no.
Yeah.
So sensible decision and correct decision by the race director.
We've opened up TweetDeck and the battle control screen. Let's check in with Tom Brooks alongside Dario Franchitti and Kareem Chandler. Can see what they think about all this.
This is race control.
Oh, Scott Oaken.
This is going to be 10 or 15 minutes, so I'm happy to let drivers out of the cars if you wish, please.
So drivers get out of the cars now. Good.
Just get everybody back together.
So 10 or 15 minutes then of what is expected to be this delay whilst they send some sweepers out onto the circuit to try and clear some of the standing water. Just saw Sam Bird and Mitch Evans having a brief discussion as Mitch remains in the car. Sam has just jumped out of it for now.
This is the point when there's normally a queue at the bathroom because all the drivers have been hydrating since the race last night, and they're suddenly going, uh-oh, we've got to head down there.
We'll save sending Saunders down to that point to get their points of view for now, shall we? Nick Cassidy, pole position for him, his second of 2023. Qualified second fastest yesterday, but owing to a grid penalty for Mitch Evans, that meant that Cassidy lined up on pole for the first time since New York in 22. Pascal Wehrlein there just wiping his visor in the Tag Heuer Porsche.
Yeah, you look on his visor, they have these tear-off strips which you'd use in the dry to sort of clear your vision if you get muck and oil and all sorts of stuff on it. But in the wet, it can be a hindrance because you can get moisture in between the layers of the tear-off, and that can actually hamper your visibility. So I was a bit surprised for him to still see a stack of them, not just one on Pascal Wehrlein's helmet there.
Is it much of a distraction from a driver's perspective when you get yourself in the car, psyched up, ready to go, and then this sort of scenario happens?
I always found it's a big distraction, and this is when I would go and find a quiet place, sit down, and just get out of the way of everybody, and just try and keep my focus on what I had to do next. Karun?
I think what tends to happen in motor racing, which is unique to any other sport, is you actually have to get used to all of this noise happening around you. You know, you think of on the grid, right? We're all there trying to get interviews and talk to people, and you have to. There's sponsors and media and all sorts going on. You don't get that in the locker room and at
Wimbledon,
Old Trafford or Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Or, it doesn't happen at Lord's, right? This is where motor racing is unique. And I always thought that time where everyone clears away and all the, it's just you and just the mechanics, they all go away. It's just you and the other drivers for the formation lap or a Formula E terms. That 1 minute, that just allows you to get your head in gear. And I thought the formation lap was really important for that. Just clear away. But also, I think because you're in this mental zone, I'd often meet people on the grid And the following week they'd come and say things like, "Oh, thanks a lot for stopping a picture, for a picture," and I'd have no recollection.
I 100%
because your head
agree.
is in a different place.
Yeah,
Get your hands out
I would almost, before the race, an hour before, just get myself into mental space, and that was it. You could see them drying out the inside of was it Sam Bird's helmet, yeah, just to try and avoid any misting up inside. But after a couple of laps behind the safety car again, you're going to see
Yeah, I mean, at this particular point, the road sweep was going to be setting the fastest lap of the race, isn't it, to be fairness? Let's head down to Saunders, shall we, who's in the pit lane for a bit of an update.
We will now.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm here with Sam Bird, Jaguar TCS racing driver. Let's have a little walk around your car, because it's just here. Sam, what can you tell us about those conditions? We heard you on the radio said following Stoffel was like watching rally.
Yeah, it's the thing is, if you look at the tread pattern on these tyres, these are designed specifically for Formula E. They're kind of a road-going racing tyre. But as you can see, there's not much tread pattern there. You've just got this groove and this groove and this groove. These grooves, they don't really do very much. So in terms of dispersing water, there's not a lot of chance. So we're basically spending the whole lap aquaplaning. There's no grip out there available for us at all. It's not, we look terrible for not being out there. I feel sorry for the fans, but we simply would all have big accidents if we were out there right now. It's just too wet for Formula E cars, especially with the immediate torque as well. So yeah, she's now very dirty, very wet, as am I. But look, if it stops raining and they can do a bit of sweeping, we'll get out there and put on a show.
Well, that is the word now from the skies, is that, it is clearing up. We might be able to get out soon. But yeah, thanks for the little insight there. Really interesting, because tyres are the only things now you can change to help the car response, right?
Yeah, exactly. As you see Maserati making some adjustments to their tyre pressures. Wonder what they're doing.
Well,
okay, that's interesting. But yeah, it's the only thing that we can change right now. So yeah, I might speak to the team actually.
Okay, well, you go do that. And meanwhile, let's hand over to Oliver, who's at Avalanche Andretti.
I've grabbed Jake Dennis here. We heard you on the radio complaining about how wet it was and it was too dangerous to go green. How were the conditions outside?
I mean, yeah, it's really bad out there, to be honest. It's one of the worst conditions I've ever driven in, so it's not nice. I mean, I literally have nothing to lose, and I'm all for a race today, but yeah, you literally can't even see Mitch in front of me, and I can only see Norman, so yeah, it's pretty sketchy out there. I just hope for everyone's safety and that we do the right thing, but yeah, I really want to race for the fans as well. They've got it nice in here, it's nice and dry, but out there it's a swamp, so yeah, hopefully it clears and we can get back out there.
You're British, you have a lot of experience racing in the wet. How do you feel going into the race knowing that it's going to be difficult?
I mean, yeah, generally the Brits are quite good in the rain. I've always been good in the rain through my career, but I can imagine for you it's really bad. Yeah, so it's sketchy as hell, but yeah, I mean, I'm experienced in the rain, but that's next level in Formula E, on the zebra crossings, the bus stop signs, everything, white lines. It just adds a whole new element compared to any other motorsport where it's just a nice, normal circuit. Here you have everything. So, yeah, visibility zero, track grip zero, and yeah, not possible to race right now.
I'm impressed. It seems like you've got a bunch of energy today after that championship win yesterday. You had a good night's sleep?
Yeah, I did, to be fair. I don't think I will tonight. Yeah, I think we'll celebrate properly tonight with the team and really enjoy it. But last night was just a nice dinner with friends and yeah, ready to have a chilled one tonight.
Good. Thanks for the time. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much as well. So red flag is out there if you're just joining us here on YouTube and Twitch. Due to the weather conditions and the race that really shouldn't have started at all. Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi. As we're waiting for the rain cell to pass and the track to get drier, it really is going to be quite interesting, Omi, to see if we do actually go racing at all, because we don't have a cut-off and the clock has actually stopped, but it's getting a little bit insane that in the past 4 races, we've had 3 red flags. It's insane. Technically, we've had 4 and 4 because we had a double yesterday. So that's still, Tom Brooks is a curse.
Yeah. Now it looks like touring cars also had some kind of delay. I don't know the reasoning, but
yeah, they just got going.
Yeah, obviously they had the barrier thing, but like I think the race just started a few minutes ago for them as well, so maybe an extra delay for something. So
hope it's not too much because Jess have to leave.
Sorry?
I said I hope it's not too long a delay, otherwise Jess will have to leave Josh T on his own.
Well, it started a few minutes ago, so it should be fine.
Do you know, I haven't actually watched any of Race 2, Race 3 because we've been so busy. So let me just have a quick look. Very well done, actually, for Josh T. I like his graphics pack. It's a very good setup he's got there, set up with Jess. So thank you very much to both of them for doing all this, this weekend. But yeah, so we're just in the holding pattern. Channel 4 have gone to an ad break. I'm not really surprised about that, to be fair. It's those types of weather conditions where we're just sort of all waiting around. We are going to have some more interviews, though, while we wait for the rain cell. So we haven't had an update on the time yet, but the sweepers are going out shortly. The manual sweepers are there. So that's the marshals going there and pushing away some of the water off of the racing line. But the big trucks haven't gone out yet to suck the water up from the floor and disperse it as well. It's like a big tank. Imagine a big Hoover gets sent out onto the track. A wet vax as well is what you sometimes see like painters use. So, yeah. So, safety cars out. So, red flags out. So, we're just sort of chilling. You chill, I'm chill. Let's head back over then to Tom Brooks, Dario Franchitti, and Karun Shatnock in the commentary box. There's the sweepers. They've gone out now.
So, the sweepers here still getting rid of some standing water on the circuit and trying to build something of a drier line out on track.
Other sweepers are available.
Including these manual ones.
You know the only good news here? It stopped Australia's onslaught in the Oval in the Ashes.
Oh, you were talking about cricket last night. Do you know any...
I love football. Great sport.
I know nothing about cricket.
Oh, is it cricket he's talking about?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I'm from Scotland. We're not very good at cricket.
Well, you don't have the weather for it up there, do you?
Do you know the first game of cricket, I believe, was played at Goodwood?
Was it really?
They have the original rules of cricket in the library.
Yeah.
And then somebody discovered an internal combustion engine and turned that all on its head.
That was it.
Let's head down then to Saunders whilst we wait for more information about the race's resumption here in London ahead of round 16 of Formula E.
Yes, so I'm down here with James Rossiter, team principal of Maserati MSG Racing. Now, we've heard from drivers about the conditions. Now I want the principal perspective. How do you approach this now? Because we are probably getting closer to hopefully starting the race again.
I think we're going to see an incredible race. I mean, it's going to be really down to driver talent. The fact that we have so much grip inside, changing conditions outside, different tarmac, different levels of coverage. As you're coming into the last sector, it's going to be a lot of emphasis on driver talent today.
So if we can see around the car, there's some work being done. I think it's just tyre pressure related. For the layman, how does that help racing in the wet, affect changing tyre pressure?
Having slightly more tyre pressure will give you more grip in high rain conditions. Slightly lower, which is optimum, let's say, for less standing water. How we manage that between the two, because obviously if you have higher tyre pressure as well, you can create higher temperature in the tyre and you'll get more grip. But there's going to be a point where there's negative return on that when you overheat the tyres. So finding the balance between that is really going to be crucial today.
And then what happens then suddenly, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with the weather, but if it does dry up, how does the tyre then react? Because then you've probably got a tyre that isn't great for dry racing.
And that's exactly why the guys are running around the car now trying to find that sweet spot. So, yeah, it's really a balance between whether we want to be fast at the beginning of the race, the middle of the race, the end of the race, and trying to figure out if we can get that right.
So the type of conditions that we've been seeing, what was the report back from Max and Edo when they were in the car?
They were both wondering why you didn't have your mop and bucket and why you weren't out there trying to solve the situation. No, they said there was a lot of standing water, but they were actually both quite keen for the race to get going.
Okay, as are we, so let's see what can happen. Back to you guys in the commentary booth.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Saunders. Just having a look, actually, the last fully wet race that we had in Formula E was Paris in 2019. We had Seoul last year, it was a bit damp and it dried out. Let's have a listen to this discussion here between the drivers a moment as well.
Let's race, let's only. How many safety cars we have? We only do the race in the safety cars.
I should apologise for any language straight away before the start of the conversation.
If there is only,
you don't go full throttle.
If there is only 11 safety cars, he take the start, do have the race, driver change, I go.
There's not 11. I take the Peugeot 208 that is parked on the car park. I think I win the race.
It's gonna end up in a bloodbath.
Well, good to hear there from all of the drivers. Stoffel Van Dorn, Jean-Eric Verne. We've got Robin Freitz in the Apps Cupra, and just to his right-hand side is his teammate Nico Müller. Well, whilst we await any more information, let's head down in the pit lane to Radzi.
It's always great to talk to Sasha Fenestraz, and Sasha, you were telling, actually, a number of drivers aren't sure about how drivable it currently is. You possibly think it's optimistic?
I mean, it was quite bad at some parts of the track. Some other ones, you know, it's not too bad. For me, it was tricky to race, but still drivable. And especially being at the back of the pack, I'm experiencing the worst, honestly, because that's where you have all the spray of you know, 17 cars in front of me. So I think it's drivable, and now the rain is kind of stopping apparently, so the track swiping the track, so hopefully that's going to work.
At the worst points in the track, where is actually the conditions worse, and how much can you see?
Well, it's exit of turn 13, so all the right-hand side, the long corner from 13 to 16, there's a lot of big water puddles, so that was the worst. Even visibility-wise was quite bad there. I don't know, about three cars length of visibility, not much, not a lot. I've driven in worse conditions, honestly, so for me it is raceable. Now let's see what we can do, what they can do, swiping the track and hopefully the rain stopping.
In terms of the contrast, going from pouring rain to bone dry, and then the light changes as well, how challenging is that?
It is quite different. I mean, yesterday we experienced a little bit of wet running under FP2 at the beginning, but now it's so much more rain that honestly you have only really 2 corners on the dry, because by the time you dry the tires, you know, you bring water from the outside quite a lot. So the last 2 corners, even though you're under the roof, they're already quite wet. So yeah, of course it's a big difference. When you arrive turn 6, it's like a swimming pool down there.
So with that said then, we saw unbelievable scenes yesterday. Could it possibly be a repeat then today?
I think so, and I think the race, tune in, because it's going to be yeah, quite a chaotic race in my opinion.
Well said, Sasha. Tune in, because you won't want to miss this one.
You won't miss it. Thanks.
Thanks, Radzi. Thank you very much indeed to Sasha Fenestraz. Interestingly, Sasha's definitely got a future career as a commentator. He joined us in the box for Free Practice 0, the rookie free practice session in Rome a couple of weeks ago, and he took to it like a duck to water. And speaking of that, to be fair, I imagine ducks will probably prefer some of the inclement weather that is out there. Just in the safety car, though, doing a couple of laps around here, Dario. What do you make of the track conditions on the outdoor parts now?
Well, from the commentary booth,
it's easy for us to sit here.
It definitely it's getting better, isn't it? But the problem is every dip you see water collects there in different bumps, as Sasha said. After the turn 13 part of the chicane, it just the car is actually leaving the ground in the dry, so, and then when it lands, those big parts collect water. This is probably a good time to just say thank you to all our marshals around this circuit. It's true for any motor racing. Without the marshals, we're not doing it. And week in, week out, sunny, rainy, they're always here.
They're going to go to a break, aren't they? Safety cars out there.
And echoing the sentiments there of Dario as well. Huge thank you to the marshals. The rain is definitely still falling, as you can
Heavy
see,
as well,
with the puddles on the circuit.
Well, this is where you start to play the ratios, don't you? You know, is the ratio of sweeping more than the ratio of water falling from the sky?
Well, this is not like using a mop and bucket to clean up a tsunami, I suppose, but it's nonetheless suboptimal, I think, as some would put it.
Can you see just above the screen where the marshals are standing? Look how deep the water is there. That's the kind of
yeah, it's quite. It's literally like full-on puddle.
That's where you have the problem. Just when you hit that, it's deeper than the tread of the
look
tyre.
at that. Look at
that causes aquaplaning. Aquaplaning is basically the water is deeper than the depth of the tread of the tyre, and off you go. And then when it's really bad, the bottom of the car turns into a canoe because the puddle is deeper than the distance between the car and the ground, and that's when it gets really interesting.
That is the world's worst feeling. I had that down the Mulsanne Straight at Le Mans, and you're just sailing. You have no brakes, no steering, no throttle, you have nothing.
Yeah.
And you're just sailing, and there were 7 of us went sailing down the Mulsanne Straight into the barrier. It was a horrible, horrible feeling.
Yeah, felt that one. There's Bruno Correa, safety car driver. He's the one with the steering wheel. He's, yeah, as I say, he's so experienced as a racing driver, but also he's done so many Formula E safety cars.
Just to explain to Cole, who's come in, the red flag is out because the track is flooded. We've got a lot of standing water and the rain is continuing to fall. So we did 5 laps behind the safety car before the red flag got called. And now we're just waiting for the rain cell to go. It's not going. And we've been on the red flag for around about, what, only about 25 minutes or so?
Yep, we've been under red flag for a bit now. Very unfortunate, but hopefully we will be able to race, but only if it is safe.
Yep, let's head back over to the world feed. They're going to get a break.
Let's get the view of a driver who knows a thing or two about Formula E. You've pretty much been at every Formula E race since it started back in 2014. The most experienced, one of the most successful, Season 3 champ, Lucas de Grassi. Lucas, this is the first time we've had the Gen 3 car experience a wet race. Just talk us through the differences between Gen 2 and Gen 3. Is there much?
Yes, there is. So we had actually a wet qualifying in Berlin, but not the race. And the experience we have with these tires are harder than last year. And we have almost twice as much torque. So you can imagine that on acceleration, you have to be very, very careful with the throttle. Here, when we drove on wet, I think it was the day before yesterday, a little bit wet, you couldn't put full throttle in the whole straight because of the excess torque you have. But the main problem we have now is the visibility. It's not really the drivability of the car.
Yeah, actually, talking about that straight, because you mentioned it, you were here competing, doing the land speed record. Tell us about that.
That's actually would be a fantastic way to prove that actually in the wet, the 4-wheel drive car, because on the land speed record we had 4-wheel drive, and this car is perfectly capable of doing that. Right. It's just a software change. It has more than 300 horsepower available on the front axle alone. So in the wet, that will make a big difference in the traction that the car would have.
So that was on the Gen Beta car, which just had some slight modifications made.
It's basically the same car, but with a little bit more power and softer tires.
Great.
So the car was accelerating extremely fast, almost 20 to 30 kph quicker than those cars.
Sorry, Oliver, I know you've got a question, but I've just got to ask. When you're trying to set a land speed record down a straight, but you know at the very end, well, there's a wall. Is that not terrifying?
No, because the beacon was much earlier.
Right, okay.
So we measured the speed in the middle of the straight. The car is capable of doing probably maybe 250, 260 or more. It's just that we don't have the space then to brake.
Well, exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
But the beacon, they did it reasonably. So we had a beacon, so it was very easy to stop. And
so
the main difficulty was just to kind of accelerate. There was really...
Well, it was very exciting to see. I know you were doing it with Jake Hughes. He did get the record, though.
Yes,
sorry
by,
to
1
mention that.
Lucas, you've been super vocal when it comes to making progress with the Formula E, always trying to make changes and make it better. You mentioned before our interview that you had an idea to kind of reduce the spray of these cars in the rooster tail.
Yes, one of the problems of single-seater open-wheel racing, and you know very well, is the spray. The problem that we are here in the pit lane right now is because the visibility of the spray is almost impossible to see even the car in front of you. Yeah. With Formula E, we have a unique opportunity because we don't change tires on the pit stop. We don't have pit stop. We could cover the rear tire and create like a protection for the spray, and that will allow for races with much better visibility and better aerodynamics also.
I love it. Lucas always has a great idea up his sleeve, that's for sure. Thank you for talking to us, Lucas, and we hope
Thank you very much.
For a dry race very soon. Let's go down to Saunders. He's with Dan Ticktum.
I am indeed. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, the fan favourite, Vernon Kay favourite, also Dan Ticktum. Let's look forward to a positive future. We're out there racing. How do you fancy your chances? Because being from the UK, you're used to racing in the wet.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the latter part of my karting career. I had a season where I didn't have a great engine, and my only chance of winning races was when it was wet. And it's less prevalent in cars, but I mean, the harder the conditions, the more obviously the driver makes a difference. Less about the car and more about the driver, which of course I like. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I do hope it starts and soon, because obviously we all get psyched up, and then it's like, oh, have to wait again, but it's part of the job, of course.
So just talk to me a little bit more about that in terms of keeping the mindset in the attack mode, in ready to go racing, because we have got this lull now, hoping to go back out. How do you keep yourself focused?
I think I stay, despite what some people might think, I stay pretty level-headed in these sorts of scenarios. I have good confidence in the wet. I think I have a good chance to go even forward today, because energy target is quite high for the rain, so it's almost full push in the wet. So again, much more about the driver, less about efficiency, which for me at least sometimes is pretty good, yeah.
Okay, let's follow up on that because again, we find ourselves in a position where this might be beneficial to people in your position, where energy management isn't necessarily the friend of Neo, but rain completely levels the playing field.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to be too defeatist about our efficiency, but yeah, like these conditions, could have had a few more of these this year, to be honest. And also, we are fighting Mahindra in the teams where I need to score, 2 more points than whatever they score. So, if I can go forward a couple and get 9th in the teams for us, that would be a good end to the year.
Well, we look forward to seeing getting back on track, see what you can do. Back to commentary.
Cheers, Saunders.
Just got the feeling they're going to go down a break.
Just having a listen to race control in here at the moment, and understand that there's going to be about 7 minutes or so to go until we're aiming to get racing resumed. The rain is still coming down, as you can see.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous then.
Scott Elkins very keen to get racing underway, as we all are here. But obviously, of course, as soon as it's safe,
It won't be in 7 minutes then. It can't.
be able to do so. This is down at turn 60. You can definitely see a few drier patches there, so the sweepers have done their work quite nicely. But nonetheless, the rain is still coming down, and well, the fans, they would love to see racing getting back underway. Just understanding that Antonio Felix da Costa has been asking for a visor from Jake Dennis as well.
Oh, yes, he has. Look, he got a visor.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll cost you.
Oh.
He's got one. Yeah, a tan visor, yeah.
As Antonio Felix da Costa. Yeah, I like that. I remember...
Sporting.
I say I remember watching because I wasn't born at
Cool
the time.
start.
96 in Monaco.
Yeah.
DC borrowed one of Michael Schumacher's helmets, didn't he?
Absolutely right, yeah, because his helmet was steaming up, I think. Different manufacturer.
Yeah, he didn't have the double glazer vising system, which Michael had on his one.
Yeah, exactly. And having raced with a double glazed visor system now, it stops the... it stops everything steaming up.
I've had one too, yeah.
It was a massively important invention for single-seater racing.
So Race Direction have now given the go-ahead for the drivers to get back into their cars. We're aiming for 6 minutes or so and then hoping to get racing resumed, or resumed once again behind the safety car here. What are we expecting from a driver's point of view? What goes through your mind now at this point? You've got to get yourself back into that zone.
Where's the limit? You're actually just thinking, how much grip am I going to have available on that first lap? What am I going to be able to see? Just got to get yourself calm, get in the car, and get ready to do the job.
Well, there's Eden Mortara making his way back in. The crowd still very much in good spirits as the drivers climb back into their cars ahead of racing resuming here.
Well, this is good that we're going to go... This is good then, I think, me as well, that we're going to go back to green flag running. We're still on Bassel's green, you have to stand up. So I think it's good. Well, we might go green, but the track hasn't improved as much as you think it would. So I'm sensing another red flag in 2 laps' time.
Yeah, I am. And then there'll be a point where the race just gets called off fully if we go too long and there's no signs of resuming. So hopefully we are able to race, but
yeah.
If we can't, then we can't.
We had this last year in Seoul in South Korea where the red flag came out for rain and we were just delayed forever. There was a huge pile-up as well, but still. Race will restart at 17:45 local time. So that is in 4 minutes. We will go green.
Right. Brilliant, perfect.
What
But I've also ordered some food, so I don't want it to get cold.
I know, I've missed my dinner as well. The dinner was ready for 6, so it's like, I'm not going to be there. It's just like yesterday. Red flag and red flag and red flag. But one thing I agree with Corinne Channock, it's very good that Australia have been stopped at the cricket. Like, mighty good. As they come on. I'm sure Tom Dillon, who is commentating on the final hour, is enjoying himself. I don't know why he's not actually here. Actually, he could be coming in. But the race is going to restart, which is good news. The restart order, well, it's just the grid, really. No one's changed positions. Cole has a question. Shoot, go for the question. Because we've got no one else. We've got nothing else going on at the moment while we're in the delay. We didn't expect the red flag to come out in Formula E either. We didn't expect it. We saw the rain, and then it sort of caught us by surprise, actually, because we didn't see outside that much. We only saw inside during the pre-show. So, yeah. My voice is going slowly, so let's see how we can do this final one. It's commentating on too many delays. I reckon we've commentated on an extra 3.5 hours this weekend with all the delays, maybe even more.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think I've done extra on a wrong weekend as well. ERC and about
Yes,
a 4
you
hour
have, yeah.
Roblox commentary as well. So, like literally, the Roblox took 4 hours of me just constantly speaking. I know I was alone, so basically I was commentating for 4 hours non-stop. I didn't go on any breaks. I planned to go on a break. I just didn't get time to go on a break, so I basically talked for 4 hours straight. And that was all after, the F1 qualifying. Then I done a quick 20-minute show on Chronicles. And then straight away I had to rush over to Roblox.
Omi does not
had
stop.
to be shortened, but...
Omi is like one of those wind-up mouses, you see. You just wind him up in the morning and he just goes all day. I don't know how you do it, mate. I really don't. I'm getting old in the convo. I feel knackered after this race. I'm getting too old for this. Bleep is the word. But still.
Oh, Josh, you're still going to get real-life gigs, don't worry.
Oh yeah, well, it's a question that we do so much in the one day across every different series. If we were trackside, it'd be different because if I was just doing the commentary, I wouldn't be as tired. But as you know, Omi, I'm doing the graphics, I'm doing the timing screens, I'm setting everything up. I'm doing the commentary, I'm doing the presenting, I'm doing all the editing and everything. It gets tiring, but the race is about to resume in a minute's time.
Well, not long to go. But, Chris, can I just get your thoughts? Because have you experienced delays like this before? I'm sure most of your cycling is done indoors, but there must have been the odd occasion. And how does that affect your mental capacity to just get back in the zone for the start of the race?
Yeah, it's not easy. In cycling, obviously, you expect velodromes to be all indoors, but actually there's more outdoor velodromes than indoor velodromes around the world. From 1996, previously, all the Olympic Games have been outdoors, so when it rains, you can't ride because the velodrome is very steeply banked. So when that happens, it's very difficult because physically you've got to warm yourself up to be ready to go at the right time. Yeah. But also you can waste a huge amount of energy emotionally and just through nerves and through that stress that you experience. So it's about trying to stay calm, managing your emotions, recognizing what you've got control over, and trusting that your coach will give you the right instructions. Right, you need to start warm up now. We're going to be racing at this time. And just trying to, understand that you're all in the same field, you're at the same situation.
Thank you very much as well. Here we go then. What are we going to see as the race is going to restart? It will be behind the safety car once again. We've already completed 5 of the 34 laps. Safety car out again. Red flag is rescinded. And we are underway once more. I don't know, Omi. The track conditions from what we've seen on pictures haven't improved that much. And it's actually looking like from these stationary shots, it's raining harder. It is actually raining harder.
Yeah,
Just as a note from race control, because of the conditions, we're going to do 2 laps here behind the safety car. 2 laps behind the safety car.
2 laps behind the safety car, and then then we're going to go green. But we will have added time. So the added laps will get added on at some point. Envision got the upper hand with the title in pole, but Jaguar and I've got it here. But Envision might take it. If we can't race, the points would be the question. It's this steep hill, isn't it, Omi? That's what I'm more worried about. The drop down from the XL Centre. It's so slippery, but the conditions look a little bit better than what we saw about 45 minutes ago. That's good news.
Yeah, I'm hoping this race ends as soon as possible because my food's here now. I'm much more early than I thought.
You can eat in the commentary. I won't mind. Nobody will mind. Viewers, will you mind? We haven't eaten.
Yes.
If Omi eats on air, that's fine by me, mate. You can have some food. We do it in the Le Mans 24 hours, so what's the difference? We've been on air since 7:20 this morning. I haven't had any food, have you? So yeah, we need food.
Or maybe Josh, you can pop in for a while when he finishes touring cars.
Yes, that'd be good. Yeah, we'll swap over as well from you, Josh T, and then you can have some food. You've got to eat. So 2 laps behind the safety car.
Especially for someone who doesn't have breakfast.
Yeah, you don't eat breakfast either. I think I've had 1 pancake. That's all. It's been one of those days.
One day I'll join you with having some pancakes in the morning.
Yes, breakfast. Nice breakfast. You've got to have breakfast. It's very good. You'd like breakfast. And a good breakfast as well. A very good breakfast is always nice. As the cars then complete their first lap. Now notice, we went round again and the red flag came out on lap 5 and it's only now just turned to lap 6. That's because when the red flag gets deployed, because we haven't got fuel, we've got usable energy, that the cars can do more laps. So the race actually gets stopped physically. The lap counter freezes. So we have to do lap 5 again out on the field. That's because it's not fuel, it's battery, and there's more. We are limited to a certain amount of battery percentage we can use in the race compared to what has actually left.
Jake, just explore the offline section 17-18.
So it's all over now. The touring cars has finished. Jess is going to dash off. Josh T will wait for the interviews wrap up and then he'll probably come join us in the commentary box. Gavin says, you're appreciated down here in New Zealand, Josh, mate. Thank you very much to Gavin. Cole says, Omi is the best. Cole saying, what happened? Well, if you're watching along with us, it's the amount of rain. Omi, now looking at down to 10-11, the rain is getting worse again and it's not improving. And there's still safety car. This is the second lap and the rain's just getting worse. It hasn't changed. We've basically gone back out and nothing's changed.
It really, really hasn't. Really hasn't. Sadly.
Yes,
but
yeah. This is how the season ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. And red flag again. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm really not surprised. Another red flag. That's our 5th red flag in 2 weekends, and our 4th red flag here in London. Now, is that it? Is that race over? Both races with double red flags. What do we do here? Race control.
Resumed and then been stopped again. Lap 6 out of 34. So we have had 6 laps of racing action. I mean, that's not exactly the way that they're going to obviously try and run it. They will wait for weather conditions to improve.
We hope.
If they do, I mean, everybody wants to get this race up.
It's the last one of the year. We've got to go.
Meteorologist on the team for next year to try and figure out what we can do.
We had one actually. One of the years I won the Indy 500, we had a meteorologist. It wasn't Michael Fish, was it? No, he was better than Michael Fish. Same as the
better than Michael Fish. I'm waiting for race control.
And the conditions that we're seeing, we're not ready to go yet. Word is that this is going to last approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So again, drivers, feel free to get out of the cars, and we will update you on conditions as we can.
So that's race director Scott Elkins once again.
That's Scott Elkins. So we've lost another lap doing that, and the red flag comes out again. So the now clock stops at lap 6 once more. And Omi, well, you may as well go get your food now and go eat. I may as well bring something into the commentary box as well. Let's hand over to our commentary team. So, go on. Yeah, go eat food.
But if you want, you can put on the fill-in thingy still.
Yeah.
If you have that downloaded.
Well, it's only 10. I haven't got it downloaded now. I removed it because I didn't think this would happen. So I have to re-download it and get it going. But we're in a red flag situation. So let's hand over back to Channel 4 and their commentary team on the world feed.
Don't you, by the fact that people
go get
sort of
some
throw
food.
a blanket over British weather. And unfortunately, right when you want to try and disprove the theory, here in the middle of summer, at the end of July, and it goes and buckets it down right when you don't need it to.
A lovely summer, honestly. It really has. It's been lovely.
Yeah, if you're Alan McNish and you live in the south of France.
Yeah, different story. See, the guys again, they've got all the adrenaline going, and then, okay, back down, calm down again. Keep focused, though, stay focused. I see Mitch Evans.
Balaclava off. And just talking there with the team. Sebastian Buemi also out of the car here as well. So the two teammates then, Sebastian Buemi, Nick Cassidy. I can't imagine there's particularly much love lost between the two after what happened here yesterday.
I think when that has all been explained, when you see how much Buemi was actually just trying to help, I think everything will be okay. And I think Cassidy might go, you know what, actually, sorry, man, you were really trying to help. And yeah, I thought that Sebastian Buemi was not being a great teammate. Turns out he actually was. He just wasn't getting clear instruction.
I thought Cassidy was actually upset with the team more than Buemi, and he was right to.
Yes,
because they were being indecisive. Now, fair play to Salam. Philippe, he came out and admitted that they mismanaged that whole thing, which is they should have been.
There was no dodging responsibility, was there?
No,
like,
but
we
also
made a mistake.
they should have gone into today's fight actually probably in the lead of the championship by some margin.
Absolutely right, and potentially still in the fight for the drivers.
Yeah.
And huge shame there for Envision. They really did drop the ball right when it mattered. Here's Antonio Felix da Costa, former champion. Just saw him very briefly, driving for Porsche these days. And Sylvain Philippe, I'm sure just checking the latest weather app to try and work out exactly what the teams are doing.
Driver with tools in his hand. God, I was never allowed to do that in case I broke the helmet.
I always change my own visor. It really confused the helmet supplier, because they were, you know, they would change the visor for most drivers, and I was very sort of fixated on. I didn't want anyone else touching my helmet.
Really?
At that time of the race.
What? Oh no.
And it was, I would let them put the tear-offs on, but I would tighten the visors to exactly the amount I wanted it tightened up, so I knew when I wanted to, you know, open or close.
Well, good to know there, Karun, as we look at Sam Bird here in the pit box. So still under red flag conditions then on lap 6 out of 34. If you have just joined us waiting for the final race of the season in Formula E, unfortunately a wet track and a lot of standing water has curtailed things for the time being. We have had 2 runnings of the race so far behind the safety car. That was where the race began, then the red flag was thrown, there was a 10 or 15 minute delay, then we got it back underway, and unfortunately the same conditions proved to be the case, and here we are.
We've done technically 5 laps.
Which is more than they did in Belgium last year, or the year before, whenever it was. I suppose in Formula E, in Formula 1 rather, I should say. But Jake Dennis, he's got to be riding high on a wave of confidence. Pressure's off for him now.
He certainly looks more relaxed than he did yesterday before the race, didn't he?
Yeah, you can see a lot of tension in his shoulders over the course of this weekend, and there was a lot of pressure on him, you know, home driver, home weekend, you know, wondering how he was going to tackle it, what others were going to be able to bring to the party, and especially at a weekend where Jaguar powertrains have been so strong with the Envisions and the factory Jaguars. He and the Andretti and the Porsche powertrain have really pulled it out of the bag.
I was talking to Michael Andretti earlier, and he said one of the things, in fact, the thing that impressed him most about Jake Dennis was his desire to go out there today, having won the Drivers' Championship, the Drivers' World Championship yesterday, to go out today and attack still and push just as hard as he had yesterday and fight just as hard as, and Michael really appreciated that.
Well, the fans here watching on, and a huge thank you to them for sticking with us here as we await any further information. Here is Mitch Evans, his team Jaguar embroiled in a title tussle in the Teams Championship with Envision Racing, which Envision lead by now 3 points courtesy of Cassidy's pole position here earlier on today, which has given them just a slight advantage. But hopefully when we do get the race underway proper, we'll see exactly how that is going to play out. So they just stood in the pit box here, Dario. What sort of things, we'll come into that in a few moments' time, actually. Let's head down to Nikki and the team and see what they've got for us.
Well, what have we got for them? We've got music, if you can hear.
A great speaker system.
It's
for
raining men.
Cupra.
I wish it was raining men and not cats and dogs. Do you know that phrase, Oliver?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
just checking, because
raining
sometimes we have a
sideways.
language barrier between us.
Yeah.
The Brits and the Americans.
Great tune.
Can you sing?
I can, but I'm not going to in this
Go
very
on,
moment.
come on, we've got
I think it's
however
good.
many,
They're
how
trying
many
to
red
keep the
flags have we had
morale up.
today?
You know, trying to keep their drivers pumped. It's so difficult going back and forth. Think you're going to go racing, and then the next moment you're back out of the car. You know, just staying hydrated.
Working.
Yeah.
I can see a few.
Yeah, I don't know, Nikki. It's going to get us in trouble at this rate. How bad is that?
Yeah, okay, well, you know, Robin's got a bit of practice to do.
Yes.
Maybe not in the car, or maybe in the car and on the dance floor. Anyway, we had a cracking day yesterday, seeing Jake take that championship title, making history. But it's not the first time it's happened. This is our 9th season. We've had some epic champions over the years, some quite incredible wins that have gone right down to the wire. Let's remind ourselves of some of the best bits from Formula E.
As our drivers head into the final race weekend, here's a look back at Formula E's previous champions, our magnificent 7. In the debut season, it went down to the wire in London.
Oh, and a spin! Blimey spins! Oh, and it's all kicking off here! Senna holds on!
With Nelson Piquet Jr. clinching the title ahead of Sebastian Buemi by just a single point.
Oh my God, I cannot believe it!
The following season was dominated by fierce rivals Buemi and Lucas Di Grassi as they entered the final race.
Oh, that's well timed. I can say hello to Josh T. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
How much of you do you know about Formula E right now?
Nothing. All I know that it started on time, and I looked last time, it was lap 3 out of whatever it was
Right.
on the safety car.
It's red flag. Twice.
Oh.
It's really wet. We've spent the last hour under red flag conditions. Basically, we started at the normal time. The race officially started behind the safety car. On lap 3, we got the information that the safety car was coming in and it would be a standing start, despite the fact the race had already started, which confused everybody. That then quickly changed, and the safety car came back out for another 2 laps before the red flag came out on lap 5. We went out again, and the weather conditions hadn't improved about 45 minutes later, and the red flag came out again. Now we've been under red flag for about 10 minutes. So that's why we're under red flag at the moment.
Okay, and it was touring car drama.
Yeah, did Jess and you do it all right? Was it all good?
Yep. And, yeah, absolute drama. The King of Croft did it again.
Turkington?
Yes.
Brilliant. Well done, Colin. He needed that.
Do you want to know where Sutton finished?
Oh, please.
DNF.
No way. How big's that for the
Yes.
title?
The title, it's 6 points between Ingram
Finally.
and Sutton, who finished second.
That is exactly what we needed to see going into the next round at Not Kill. I'm going to look forward to watching the races back
Sutton.
with you and Jess then.
Sutton got taken out by Stephen Jelly on lap 1, turn 1.
Oh, God.
And Daniel Lloyd crashed into the barrier hard, and so that we were under safety car for until end of lap 4.
Yeah. I thought we would be.
And unless if the 6 p.m. curfew at Croft has been relaxed or it's been changed, because it's 17:59 and they've just started a 20-minute Porsche delayed race.
Seems okay to me then. Okay, well, we're on a bit of a break ourselves, so you go get yourself something to drink and have a bit of a chill. I'll tell you about down to Nikki.
Time ago, and some of the old rivalries between Lucas de Grassi and Sebastian Remy. That's what Formula E history has been built on. And then, of course, the big dramas between Antonio Felix Acosta and Jean-Eric Verne. So much is always at stake, and you can see the pressure, the emotions that have run on season after season. But Oliver, just talk about the caliber of drivers. Looking at all of those world champions or champions, and then obviously Formula E became a world championship, so the world champions. The caliber of drivers is just phenomenal.
It is big, and there's not another series that I can think of in the world where the entire grid of drivers are all paid to be here. They're paid professionals.
So just explain to us what that actually means, because for some people it's kind of a bonkers theory that, what do you mean? Of course you'd be paid to be here, no? But it doesn't always happen.
Motor racing is extremely expensive. And a lot of times teams are put in situations where they need to have a driver that's bringing funding.
Yeah.
But every single one of these teams are in the position to hire and pick, who they want to drive their cars. So there's a lot of drivers, myself, who didn't get the chance to come back here this year. But there's so many drivers that are looking to get into this championship. So just the level is so high, and that says a lot about Jake Dennis's championship this year. Each season in Formula E, the competition gets stiffer and stiffer. The technology in these cars is continuing to progress. I mean, we see it in the team's championship battle now. It's only a couple points difference between each team. So it just goes to show the parity is so tight. And as we see here, the elation from Jake Dennis yesterday.
Yeah, so there was a tip that Sir Chris Hoy gave Jake when they met, that, actually what you need to do is smile in front of your contenders, because then they don't know if you're feeling under pressure. But
Under
obviously,
pressure, right on cue.
Yeah, thanks
Under
very much.
pressure.
that was intentional. But yeah, the fact that Jake Dennis was smiling so much yesterday, I don't think he needed to put it on, did he? It just happened because of the result.
Of course.
Andre Lotterer is going to be leaving Andretti, so that means there's a free seat.
We hear that Felipe Drugovich could be going there.
I was hoping for you.
I was hoping as well.
Okay.
I tried.
Yeah. Is the door completely shut?
We'll see.
Okay. Any other driver moves that you can talk to us about?
Several. I mean, this is the silly season, right? It's all starting to kick off now. These drivers are trying to, go the best they can in their final race. People only remember your final race, so if it's a bad one today, it's going to be a long winter.
Well, fingers crossed, we're going to have some good news about what is going on with the current situation. Let's get back to commentary.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Nikki and Oliver. Much appreciated. If you're watching us on Channel 4's UK coverage, by the way, we will switch to the Channel 4 Sport YouTube channel at 6:30, so that's about 28 minutes time, just to make you aware. Let's head down to Radzi, meanwhile. See who he's found in the pit lane.
When you're watching around the world and you don't get to see an awful lot of racing, or perhaps you're in the London XL Arena and you're not getting to see the racing, what better to do than to speak to the brand new world champion, Jake Dennis. Even though the racing isn't going as we'd like, how are you feeling, mate? Listen to this noise.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely incredible to obviously be here on a day like today. It's a real shame about the weather, but yeah, I really hope we can actually get back out on track and put on a bit of a race. But yeah, at the moment it's just way too dangerous. We really can't see much more than one car length in front of us. So yeah, pretty gutted, but nevertheless, title's wrapped up for me. So whether we go racing or not, it doesn't make too much difference, but hopefully we can put on a show and yeah, make you guys obviously watch a good race, because obviously indoor, there'll be plenty of overtaking and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just pretty sketchy outside.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. Who was the first person you called after you got out of the car and celebrated with the team?
I mean, I actually have most of my family and friends here, so that was pretty cool. I spoke to my old boy on the phone, and he was pretty chuffed. He was more stressed than I was by the sounds of it, but yeah, I mean, so many text messages, I barely got to any of them, and yeah, so much support.
So much support, deserved support. Once more, London XL Arena, give it up for your brand new world champion, Jake Dennis.
Well, good to hear there from Jake Dennis. And thanks to Radzi down in pit lane as well. Greaty, the fans are still keeping themselves here in high spirits as well, as we still await any further information as to when racing will resume. This is Dennis's championship win. If you are leaving us on CBS at the moment, thank you so much for joining us. Really hope that you have enjoyed 2023 in Formula E. See you again soon. And if you're continuing to stay with us on Channel 4 or anywhere else around the world in which you're watching us, thank you very much for your company. Much appreciated. This is Jake Dennis yesterday after claiming his inaugural Formula E World Drivers' Championship. Hugely impressive performance from the Briton. Metronomic consistency he has had over the course of this year. And very much looking forward to seeing what he is going to be able to do in 2023. I think, Dario, we're not actually 100% sure as to who is going to be lining up alongside him at the Andretti team for next season.
No, as I think Oliver Askew said, Felipe Drogovic is one of the rumoured drivers, but right now I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Andre Lotterer. He's going to go back full-time to the Porsche World Endurance Championship team, multiple Le Mans winner, and he's going to head there. He's had a tough season with the Andretti team in the Porsche powertrain.
Yeah, absolutely. Lotterer down in 18th in the standings, and the only real highlight was back in Mexico when he was able to get 12 points. But other than that, he's not really had much to write home about in particular. You can see the rain still coming down here as well, isn't it?
This is not helping, is it? One of the odd things about Lotterer, he has never won a Formula E race.
Which is quite incredible given the fact that he's been here for as long as time.
Yeah, and driven for some championship caliber teams. It's just never gone his way. It's bizarre.
What do you make of all this happening here, Karun? I mean, look at this. You can do, well, this is just a camera angle. I appreciate that they're going to get rain blown onto the lens, but
starting to get a bit concerned about light as well.
That's what I'm thinking, Karun.
Local time, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's head down to Saunders, shall we?
Yeah, so I'm here in the Jaguar TCS Racing Garage with James Barclay. Now, I know, James, like me, you're a man that appreciates detail. So let's talk about the rules and regulations side of a wet race and what might happen now, what has to happen to get this race underway.
Yeah, so regardless whether it's wet or dry, the rule we now have and updated in the last few years is that we have to have at least 2 clear laps without a safety car for the points to count. So we need at least 2 clear laps. So the safety car could stay out, basically. As long as we have 2 clear laps racing, the points will count for the results. So that's what ultimately we want to happen today, to really decide this championship. Obviously, weather conditioning, depending. We also have a 3-hour rule from when the race should have started to the curfew of when it can start. So just after 8 o'clock. So we should be okay for time still. That's what the situation we currently are in. So hopefully this weather front moves through for the fans and for everyone here. It's definitely adding a bit more tension to the situation, but yeah, looking forward to getting this underway when we can.
Okay, so let's also now talk about how to keep focus, not just with the drivers and the teams. I've seen the Jammy Dodgers are out, you're keeping them fueled, but how do you keep their mentally in shape, ready for racing to start hopefully soon?
Yeah, it is an important one. You know, like all athletes, you prepare, you get yourself ready for that zone, and it does add another level of kind of complexity for almost resetting every time. We had that yesterday, great example, and Mitch did a fantastic job. So they are used to it. You know, this level, they've had a lot of this experience where races are stopped and restarted. But for sure, yeah, you've got to keep your eye on the prize and keep focused, and yeah, most importantly, use the time to also potentially think a bit more through any race strategy decision and the ideas around the wet weather. So yeah, it's all about just keeping calm, enjoying the moment, not letting this kind of build up any anxiety. It is what it is.
Exactly, it is what it is. Back to you in the commentary booth.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Saunders. So still awaiting any information, but the rain is coming down with a rather heavy intensity, as we saw just a few moments ago. Great to see that the fans are still here. Just out of interest here, chaps. Dario, you first of all, what were the worst conditions that you drove in?
I remember racing at Portland, I think it was, in the wet, and all I could see was, the only reason I could judge where I was on the track was by looking at in peripheral vision and seeing Marshall's post, and it was sort of an IndyCar at 180. Actually, let's see what Lucas is saying.
Walking going straight in the gym.
Benny's first lap.
No, not first, maybe
not logging, that's when it's going.
No, I saw them with smoke.
Yeah?
Lucas is moving away from the camera. He wants to have a quiet conversation. But yeah, that's probably the worst conditions I think I've ever driven in a single-seater.
What about yourself, Corinne?
Monza, I think 2008, that weekend where Vettel took his first win in the Toro Rosso.
GP2 then?
I was in the GP2 race, and you know, Monza again, obviously incredibly high speeds, but the spray just sort of hangs in the trees. The water will get thrown up and then come back down quite quickly, and you just couldn't clear the spray. And it was I was actually, well, this guy was in the race with me, Sebastian Buemi. It was just horrendous. You could just see the tops of the trees and the sort of advertising boards to work out where the track was or where you were on the track.
Absolutely. Good to hear there, Corinne. Thanks for that as well, Dario. Let's have a look here yesterday. This is Buemi versus Cassidy. This was the big talking point that we were basically discussing during the race. You had the two Envisions here, and you had Cassidy behind Buemi, and we were sort of a bit mystified as to why they weren't switching positions.
Well, no, hang on, let's go through it here, because we're looking at the point where they have switched. So at this point here, if Cassidy was in the lead for a period of time, he allowed Buemi to get in front, then Mitch Evans, because he wanted to let Buemi attack for a little while, and he thought he could save some energy, which was a somewhat odd decision, I think, because he could have stayed in front and carried on leading the race. So at this point, I think we're riding on board, and then this happened.
Yeah, this is the undoing of it.
So side-by-side through turn 3 now, Buemi comes across and clips, just that little clip to front wing of Nick Cassidy. That was it, look, damage to front wing, gets caught underneath the car. Just watch the back right-hand side of the car on the left as it comes across. Just caught the wing, look at that. That was it. That's Nick Cassidy's chance at the championship gone. His teammate, Sebastian Buemi, in the front of the two green and blue Envision cars, is pleading on the radio, what do I have to do? How can I help my teammate? And then this happens. So really a tough day for the Envision team, and a badly managed situation by a team that normally does such a strong job.
And the trouble was they were trying to overthink it and over-engineer a situation there where they should have just said, when Buemi came out of the last corner, they should have just said, let him by. It was really simple. You just need to say 3 words. Buemi would move aside, let Cassidy pass, and Cassidy would have ended up in front and cruised along.
In the first part, why did Buemi go back past Cassidy, taking both attack modes? He was leading the race, looking really, really strong. It's like, everybody else is thinking, oh, this is done. This is done. He's going to get the points he needs. He's in the prime position.
They overcomplicated it.
Down to efficiency, wasn't it? Surely he was wanting to follow Buemi so that he could, do
he
a bit
didn't
of
need
lifting
to.
coasting.
I think that's the point Dario's making. He could have won this race from the front, because it wasn't an energy limited race yesterday. It's sort of track layout. They could have won it from the front.
Absolutely. A quick weather update. It's looking better. It's stopped raining.
Thank goodness for that. The
Oh,
sweepers are back
brilliant.
out on track.
Here we go.
This will be good. A bit of standing water to be cleared. So 6 laps out of 34, as you can see, have been completed. Darren, I've never seen you so excited.
I tell you what, I want to go racing. All these people at home, all these people in the grandstands that have stayed around to watch this race. It's going to be good. And we've 5 laps behind, 6 laps behind the pace car.
Hey, bit of mini golf. This will be good.
Good. Is that a crocodile?
How's your golf knowledge, Drew? Oh dear.
God, I think my game's better than that. And I'm terrible.
I've never done any golf commentary before. I mean, to be fair, Jake Hughes isn't exactly using a putter that's akin to his height. Oh,
don't you have to talk in a really soft voice? What was the man?
I haven't got one of those.
No,
it doesn't work. It's all or nothing, really. We can see the fans are still keeping in good spirits. Just a reminder as well that it is the lack of visibility that's been preventing us from getting this one restarted, but it looks as though the worst of the weather has sort of blown through for now. The rain seems to have dissipated for the majority.
Quick, get them in the car.
And it's just down to the standing water. They've got to get the track safe, haven't they, obviously, and then we can hopefully get racing underway good and proper here. 29 laps still left on the counter, but
Oh, it's raining
as soon as I
again.
say the weather's disappearing, it then seems to be reappearing somewhat. It's not as heavy as
It's
it was
only
earlier.
raining lightly. Come on, Tom. Be positive here. Crikey, if I'm the cheerleader, we're in trouble.
Bit of optimism, hey?
Absolutely right.
Yeah, as you can see the tarmac there, still with a fair bit of standing water on it. This is just coming out of the inside of the indoor part of the track, essentially into the daylight. You can see the difference there in the two surfaces. And the sweepers now on the track trying to clear some of the standing water to make it safe here for the drivers. And the Italian flag out there, presumably a Maserati fan.
And this crowd yesterday chanting Jake Dennis's name, that was pretty cool. I'm not sure I've seen that at a Formula E race before.
It's a real atmosphere here this weekend, isn't there? Everyone seems to love London, and the fans in particular having a real treat here. LRA yesterday, Tiny Temper today, great involvement.
This is the benefit of Formula E, because you can race in urban areas, the middle of cities. People can take the tube and public transport and get here. And
you took the tube, didn't you?
I took the tube, yeah. I had my suitcase on the tube, and sort of, yeah, it was great. You know, the station is 30 steps from the front door of the paddock, which is wonderful. And actually, the fan zone, I have to say, they've done a great job. I wandered through my kids yesterday. There's so much going on for people to do and see. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff.
Well, just a reminder, if you are watching us on Channel 4 at the moment, coverage will continue on Channel 4 Sports YouTube channel at 6:30, which is in just over 15 minutes' time.
Yeah, we're staying with it, don't worry.
Sash Fenestra's heading for a comfort break there. He's been told it's time to go. He's just put his coffee down.
Yeah, and getting himself ready to go.
It's Edo Mortara in the race suit.
Yeah,
Maserati driver.
Good to see Edo there. Let's head down to Nicky before we hopefully get this race back and resumed in a few moments.
Well, the crowd is getting quite excited now. We've got clapping and everything going, and maybe because of the three of you lined up together, they can see you. We've got our championship hero here, Sir Chris Hoy is back with us, and Katie Munnings is in the house, Extreme and Rallycross driver. You're probably getting used to this now, all the interviews. We're getting our money's worth out of you now you're a champion. Obviously, you had a chat with Sir Chris before. Were any of his words of wisdom like ingrained in your head yesterday?
All of them. There weren't many, to be fair. You had it all in the bag anyway. I was so impressed at how calm you were and how well you were dealing with all that media pressure. You know, that close to the competition. I was equally envious, and also I knew how hard it was for you leading up to that big day.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like it's a lot going on prior to the event, and then the build-up is massive. And then a race, how it was, you know, with the red flags, the safety cars, it was really intense, a lot of high-pressure moments, situations which I felt like got out of hand when they shouldn't have. But yeah, we just came out on top, but yeah, it wasn't easy, a lot of emotions. And when I finally crossed the line, it was something to I think noise just came out of my mouth, not words. It was just, yeah, pure emotion.
Was it more relief or just excitement?
I I think a relief. Like, I went into it thinking it would be excitement, but honestly, like when I crossed the line and I did it, it was like a relief which I didn't know was there. You know, we've had some really good seasons in Formula E. We've been like, yeah, one of the top drivers, but to get your first title is massive. And with the team I've done it with from the start, you know, we've grown and grown as one, and to share it with these guys is pretty special.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be in this position now, where you didn't have any pressure, you could actually enjoy the whole spectacle, the whole experience, and not have to think about the individual driver's title?
I know, yeah, like it's really rare you get to race at such a high level with no pressure on your shoulders. You know, Michael was like, just go have some fun, and you know, everyone was pushing that on me. And even though when it came down to it in qualifying, I was just, when I did my group stage lap and I got into the duels, I was absolutely pumped. Like, I didn't think I'd be bothered, but I still wanted it so bad. I still wanted to qualify at the front and take it to the Jaguars, and we did just that. But yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to this race because I was like, I could be the guy to make those aggressive overtakes and not worry about anything. I had all that yesterday, all that drama, and yeah, I don't quite get the chance at the moment.
Yeah, the drama is kind of continuing today, but hopefully you will get the chance very soon. We are told that the rain has stopped. Katie, now you're used to racing in a very different environment, proper off-road stuff. Talk to us about what capacity you're here today in, and yeah, how different your off-road racing experience must be to Jake's.
Yeah, I'm here as a fan. So actually, I've only been to 2 Formula E races, and both of those Jake's won. So this is kind of normal, I think.
Lucky charm. You're going to have to come to all the races next season,
yeah,
then, Katie.
So I mean, it's sad to see the rain now, but yeah, I feel like I'd be more confident in the rain than I would be in the dry in this car.
Honestly, that's going. You can have it for free.
You've not got any tips you can give, Jake? You know, the transition from the grip to the lack of grip. Exactly what you do in rallycross.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you'll know. We were doing the same race last week, me and Chris. It's quite funny.
Well, you said that's very kind of you. I was in a much lower category, but yeah, I was admiring your skills.
So, Katie, what tips were you giving to Chris then?
Exactly.
That's what I wanted.
I need them.
We have actually done a cycling race before. I don't know if you remember, but in Goodwood, we raced each other on the Goodwood Straight on bikes.
She said that she beat you.
I was retired, you know. I flag on my eye. I've got, you know, I pull a hamstring.
Stop training, yeah.
But Chris, you've actually done a bit in the Extreme E car before.
Yeah,
Talk to us about that.
yeah. So I went up to Dumfries and you know had a shot of the car there. What a spectacular venue that was! And you guys had a great weekend as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Actually, the second day was complete torrential rain there when we were in Scotland. So, oh, here we go.
Any tips, Katie? What do you reckon? What do you reckon to the?
Oh, this is you driving the Extreme E car.
Yeah. There was a very scared man sitting next to me.
The
that was Tommy.
gradients were so high in Scotland, I remember that, because we were in this quarry that's going to be turned into a hydro plant. So, yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, what
that car is absolutely epic. What is it? The Odyssey 22. I mean, wow. That must be quite exciting to be behind the wheel of a car like that.
Yeah, and I think it was actually really similar race conditions to what these guys are having with the rain on the second day. It was torrential rain, and it was really slippery, like grease on the top layer. I guess it's like what it looked like doing those couple of laps for you guys, like four-wheel sliding.
We can now see, actually, on the screen at the moment, what the track conditions are like. Is that dry enough for you to race in?
Yeah, that bit. Oh, I don't know. Now they've zoomed out. I mean, it's the zebra crossings and the bus stop signs and the white lines which make it really, really difficult. This part's not too bad, but yeah, it's just the visibility and the white lines which can catch you out at high speeds. But yeah, this section's not too bad because it's covered slightly. But I mean, I really hope we get out there. I really want to put on a race for everyone. And
the race will restart in 10 minutes, 18:30.
There, in all fairness, so hopefully we get going soon.
Well, we're getting a nod from your team to say you've got to go and get back in the car.
Amazing.
So that is an excellent
Good luck,
sign.
mate. All the best.
Be on your way. There we are. Our new champion, Jake Dennis. What can he do today? That's the big question. There's no pressure on him, but obviously
Exactly
you
the
kind of
same
want to
time
end
Channel
your
4
season
go
on a
off it.
high, right?
I thought that.
Well, there's
That's
always
planned.
a chance, you know, with all the variables, with the weather, with the low grip surface. There's still the team championship. Everyone's talking about, you know, the Jaguar and Envision, but it's still possible mathematically.
Yeah.
But you never know. Never say never.
No, exactly. You never know. We have just been told that the racing will be starting at 6:30, so let's look at that. So actually, we haven't got too long to go. So they've got a few minutes to get themselves back in the zone. Having obviously just had a fairly relaxed conversation about all sorts of things, how are they suddenly race-focused in the next few minutes?
Yeah, well, I think Katie's probably the person to answer that question. You know, how do you, because you race multiple times throughout the day, how do you switch on and switch off? Because you can't be focused for the whole duration of the 24 hours.
Yeah, it's really draining, I think, adrenal-wise as well, when you're all pumped up to go and then you're relaxed and it's like, oh no, you need to get yourself back in that zone. They spend so long warming up before the race starts, and then it's really anticlimactic. So, I mean, these guys are very relaxed drivers. Don't forget Andre Lotter as well is a kind of endurance racer, so he's going to be used to hopping in and out of the car. So when he got out of the car a minute ago, he was so relaxed, chatting with his friends out the back, and I'm sure he's just going to jump back in, and then the adrenaline will hit when they see the lights go green, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, fingers crossed. We will be bringing you some racing very, very soon. Our final race here in London, fingers crossed, is about to get underway.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Nikki, and to Chris and Katie down there as well. Confirmation, the race will restart at 18:30 local time. Hurrah and thank goodness. We're looking forward to some, hopefully, green flag racing action. In the meantime, put the word out on Twitter for some questions to come in for myself, Karun, or Dario in the commentary box. And they ask, someone asked Kieran, it says, what is the highlight of Season 9? Dario, what do you think has been your highlight this year in Formula E?
Highlight of Season 9. I think, Fern's drive in India was something special. To be low in energy and lead was so impressive. Yeah, that's got to be, that was up there for me. It just came off, yeah.
What about you, I'm going to go Cassidy Berlin when he made that move and went from 6th to 1st in the space of half a lap, basically, or 3/4 of a lap. He made a few moves there and then just bolted and took the win on a day where everyone kept saying they didn't want to lead.
Well, and speaking of Cassidy as well, we can catch up with him and find out exactly about his pole lap and how he ended up taking his pole position for the grid when he caught up with Karun after qualifying.
Nick, great way to bounce back from yesterday. Let's get into the lap straight away. So, heading down towards turn 1, what was the grip like today?
Yeah, can we pause?
Yep.
I got a funny thing. Amazingly, I was sitting in the car before that final, and I watched a side-by-side comparison of Mitch and I could see where he was gaining and losing. And honestly, he was a quicker car today, but I saw he attacked the first sector a lot harder than me, especially on the braking.
Well, into this one?
Into here. More rolled the speed to make the stop point here, right? Whereas
so basically, you owe this pole position to our editor guys who put that together.
Thank you.
Well done. Excellent. Right, so going through this bit here, as you were saying, in the early parts, you didn't seem to be as quick in the first sector. What did you do differently here?
Yeah, so basically just attack more on the entries. But I think you can see today, compared to yesterday, we were talking about my tires. I'm in a much better window today.
Well, I want to talk about your steering inputs here, because it looks like you've had a few bites of the cherry there. Watch your hands.
Here, actually here, if you go back, there's the only moment on the lap where I thought maybe wasn't ideal. I basically got caught on the compression. I couldn't turn the steering wheel anymore.
There. Yeah, you've had like 2-3 goes at it.
Yeah, and that was...
And then a massive amount of lock.
That was a lack of guns.
Okay. And then turn 9 here, this is where you're going outside. Was it drizzling at this stage? Was it okay?
No, it was okay. I focused a lot more on exit here today compared to yesterday, trying to make the car straighter. And here today, honestly, I wasn't as quick as Mitch, and I just tried to take way more risk.
Yeah, I was going to say, there. I mean, that is pretty on the edge of where you wanted to be, isn't it?
Thanks to our damping specialists. I think they got that well.
Yeah, because actually, I'm going to ask people to watch your hands here over these curbs. You know, it does look like the car doesn't really move. You want to watch how close you were to the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
I'm surprised I'm not in that fence, man.
Go on, let's go.
How do we do that? Oh my God.
Well, let's zoom in. I mean, that is...
Yeah, I think that I took massive risk. I gained a 10th.5 here compared to my other duels.
Wow, okay.
And then a 10th.5 at this next braking.
And obviously you could see against yourself on the dashboard of your car, but for people at home to understand, you don't know what time Mitch is doing. You only know against your previous best lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, down here, this is where you made the mistake yesterday.
Yeah, and also on the edge again, slightly, like, I wouldn't be much wider. Wouldn't want to be much wider than that.
Yeah, and then... What's your mentality like here? Because, you know, you've done most of the hard work. That there as well, super close.
Yeah.
Couple of corners to go. Are you still, you know, is it a, I want to just close the lap out? Or is it a, what's your psychology
To be honest, I was also missing a 10th to Mitch in 1920. So I knew that I had to improve on myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I braked later. I tried to go a bit straighter on the braking and then turn in later.
Wow, look at him on a steering lock there, though.
Yeah, and just before that, I'm more on the nose. If you see the moment on the entry.
Yeah, you had a bit of correction and then wind the lock on.
Yeah, yeah. And you get onto the surface, right? So as soon as you get there, it turns.
Yeah. But then last corner, good traction, good drive up to the line. Were you happy with that?
Honestly, I was. I don't think we were the car for pole today. I think Mitch was.
Yeah.
I think we were yesterday. I didn't put it together, and maybe he was that today. So it's nice to have those battles, right?
Did you sleep all right after yesterday? Because it was a tough blow to take, I imagine.
I woke up at 2 a.m. I thought it was a nightmare, and it wasn't.
All right, mate. Listen, you got one last chance to put a smile on your face. Good luck for today.
Thanks so much, man.
Cheers.
So the race is going to resume, and we're now switching to Eurosport because Channel 4 is going to, disappear when the lights go out. So Josh T's still with us, and Omi's around as well. Just to let Omi know that Josh T's now going to have dinner. So Omi, if you're able to step back in the box, we're going to have to swap around cameras once again. Josh, it's interesting. We've been now under red flag really in total for 90 minutes. This is now officially the longest Formula E race in history. It's going to be over 2 hours. It's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it really, really is. And since Tom Brooks has become the commentator for Formula E, I always do that, Josh. It's fine. It's 414.
Oh, thank you, because they've changed, haven't they?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Go on.
So, yeah, I've always done that. But, yeah, it's... With Formula E, it was really raining, and the whole day at Silverstone has been rained off as well, with safety cars and not being able to get going. They've with the GB3 race, they went out for a couple of laps, then it went into like a NASCAR style break where every half an hour they checked the conditions and they were just in their garages chitching out. But we're 1.5 minutes away, getting ready, lap 6 of 34.
Race control.
Behind the safety car. Please have cars start moving into the fast lane behind the safety car. I'm aware that it is complicated because of other cars lining up in front of your garage, but we'll make it work. Again, pit exit will go green at 30.
So the race will resume in 60 seconds' time. To answer Joe Samiego's question, should Formula E have a full wet tyre, or will it not make a difference? It's not really going to make a difference. It's an all-weather tyre, so it is quite good. It's like a normal road tyre. The problem that we've got is that with the bumps, it's quite hard. So again, it's the instant torque of electric energy. So it's the electric energy that's really struggling, because as soon as you can't even put the full throttle down to go 100%. So the rear is just constantly twitching, and there's no power steering, so it's constantly fighting you every single second. And across the bumps in the water, it's going to be a huge accident. It's going to be a very interesting race. But Josh, there's still an awful lot of water around. It has stopped raining, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big puddles in the biggest braking zone on the track down to turn 16.
Yeah, we can, but the green light at the end of the pit lane is about to go. The red flag will come in, the safety car will go out, and those fans have got a little bit sick of seeing those red strobe lights, and I'm surprised they've not turned those off.
Away we go then! The third time today we are going to attempt this start. It's green light, and away we go. And the safety car will lead them out once again. So, fingers crossed, we're going to have it. This is going to go well. We're going to have no commentators because Omi still hasn't finished his food. He's been gone for 45 minutes. Here's race control.
Sorry for talking over Scott Elkins. Directed.
Yeah, Scott Elkins, the race director there as well, just giving us some final informations as well. This is your order. All right, that'll do. Here's your order then, in case you've missed it. Cassidy Evans, Nato, Dennis, Van Dorn, Bird, Boemi, Muller, Tickton, Verline top 10, Vern, Mortara, Rast, Lotterer, Sete Camera, Gunther, Degrassi, Fenestras, Hughes, DaCosta, Merry and Frines. That's the running down in this field. And Josh, it looks better, but whether or not I reckon we could go green now. I reckon it's a lot better than it was. It's a normal wet race. Saying that, though, the spray's still there, isn't it? It's not clearing as well as I thought looking on the TV pictures. And has it just started raining? It's raining again, yeah. Okay. Great. Every time we try and start this race, it goes wrong.
Yes.
So I presume we might go to a red flag again. Oh, no. Well, the thing is, though, we've only got 90 minutes left to complete this race. The cut-off time is 3 hours after it. Race started at 5:04. That's 6:04, 7:04, 8:04. Light gets dark here, doesn't it, Josh? Around about 9 p.m., 9:30. So we're not too worried about the light, but it's a question of can we actually get this finished as we start lap 7.
Yeah, but that was when there was no clouds yesterday. The light started going around 9:30, so no doubt it'll be a little bit
That's
earlier.
true, yeah, so probably
And,
closer to 8, yeah.
Yep, just going back, but we'll wait on that. Here's Nico Muller, did he?
Has he touched the wall? Oh, hang on.
Oh.
What's that? It's a Hoover filler. So it's a piece of a cooling jet that is had to be dislodged from the car.
That's going to be a penalty for a release in unsafe condition.
Yes, it is. That's what it is. Motorsport Broadcasting, who is on site, has said, I'll be very surprised if this actually gets back to green flag racing, but strange things have happened. Very unfortunate from an FIA Formula E TV perspective as well, as Channel 4 have disappeared. So Eurosport has now had TV pictures. Nice to be back. Safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in. We are going racing. And it will be a rolling start procedure. So they're not even going to attempt a standing.
Well, here we go then.
That's brave in my book. That's incredibly brave to go
Are
and
we going to
attempt
see
that.
a massive pile up on the red flag on
Possibly.
lap 1?
Probably, I would say. That it's very dangerous to go for that manoeuvre. So, rolling start for the final race. We've had 90 minutes of red flag. We've only completed a total of 7 laps. It's time to begin here in London. The last race of 2023 is awaiting the green flag as they exit the last corner. Green flag, away we go. We are racing in London. Cassidy leads, Evans followed by NATO as they're single file in towards turn number 1. And now the real quest is going to be how much they can actually get stopped as they come downhill in towards turn number 4 and 5. Into the rain we come then, downhill, and everyone is slipping and sliding, and it's so far so good, Josh, as they come in. It's okay.
Yep,
Oh.
It's okay. Look at the massive slide there from Nick Cassidy, and that was one of the Andretti's looking up the inside, I believe, of the other Andretti or one of the Mahindras.
Yeah, I think it's Dennis looking on the inside of NATO, and Lotto was trying to pass Ras as they come into the tricky braking zone at turns 10 and 11. The XL centre's dripping, and it is raining still, but we have got a race on here in London. And there's a lot of spray. This is the dangerous part of the track that I don't like. There's a lot of less visibility here. The track narrows in, and there's a lot of standing water to the braking zone for turn 16. Don't forget, attack mode is still a thing in this race. Let's hear from Bird.
Team ready for Bird.
Attack this lap, attack this lap.
Bird didn't
So
do
Bird-
it. Bird's got attack. Evans is in P2. So Van Dorn has taken 2 minutes of attack. Bird has taken 6 minutes of attack. Vern has taken 2 minutes. So has Sete Camera. So has Degrassi. Buemi has made the first overtake in this race, passing Bird. And everyone else now filters through. DaCosta, Merry and Frines all 2 minutes as well. We've completed one racing lap. It's lap 9 of 34. And the fans here in London like it. As we see Cassidy, that's Buemi just ahead of Bird, but Bird now on 4 power laps. It's going to be a bit chaotic.
And Hughes just takes the fastest lap. But I've just remembered something, Josh. We've been under safety car for a very long time, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
How many added laps are we going to have? It
Well,
probably won't happen, but it would be very funny. If
I reckon we will have a total of 8 laps added to the end of this race. No joke. But it's when they actually decree the race started as Dennis tries to look up the inside of Norman Nato to the back of the... What? Hang on. Cassidy and Evans has got 3 seconds to Norman Nato. 3 seconds. That's how much they've just let go. Evans is sliding over the bumps, coming over the braking zone from 14 into 15 and 16. So there's again a little bit of problems as Evans takes attack mode. He activates it all. NATO goes for it as well. Dennis goes a little bit wide. Dennis nearly goes into the wall and takes NATO with him. I think Buemi has taken attack mode. So is Muller and Tinkton. They're all taking it. Let's take a look at the times. You can see on your driver tracker on your battle screen exactly how many minutes everybody has. It's too complicated for me to say. Those flashing red means they've lost out on their first attack mode. So it's a 1:27.957. That's the opening gambit time. So once again, they're slipping and sliding. Evans has taken 6 minutes. Bird had already taken that as well, so they're still fighting out for positions. Here's Jake Dennis on a replay. And this was him. He's touched the back of NATO, coming through turn 4 and 5, downhill. Is Dennis through? Dennis has passed NATO, but it nearly cost him. He won the championship yesterday, Josh, and he's losing his front wing today, as there's Evans taking the attack mode.
Yep, and, well, about front wings, it was absolutely crazy. So crazy that someone even took a part of the front wing off of the show car that was in the pit lane. That's how desperate the teams were.
Wow, that's how much it is. Gunther's Passante camera as well. The show car, pretty much a standard car, but with a few tweaks to it, as Evans had to back off. Evans in full power is really bad. Cassidy's taken 2 minutes now of the attack mode, so he's going to go for it. Dennis now comes across. He takes a full 6 minutes. Van Dorn activates it as well. He takes 6 minutes. I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it, Josh? Use it all now, because it's not going to be a race where you have to worry about attack mode. It's going to be a race where you've got to worry about staying on the track.
Yep, Lotterer takes 4 minutes of attack mode, Degrassi 6, DaCosta 6. Let's hear from Dennis.
As well as confirmed, Cassidy also took attack 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's just the Andretti's trying to help out the Porsches for the Constructors' Championship, because they share the manufacturers as they come down in terms of Porsche powertrain. So they were rivals at the start, now they're friends, because it's literally going to be there together as they all close in. Cassidy taking it. There's a paper bag flying off the back of Andre Lotterer's car down towards turn number 1 as well. There's Rene Rast and Jake Hughes getting involved in all the melee. Into the wet part of the track we come. Cassidy sliding around on attack mode. Evans still P2. So it is a slip and slide here in London. That's the only race we're going to have to try and get the grip together and keep it together. It is now officially, by the way, the longest Formula E race in history at over 1 hour 38 minutes, and that is just a wall of sprays we have for Cassidy.
More team radio here for Cassidy.
0.5 more than Mitch, 0.5 more.
Energy 0.5 more than Mitch. So that's what they need to keep an eye on in this race, in the power. Evans with that 6 minutes, he's still going to have about 2.5 more than Cassidy, so that could be an attack. Dennis has, no, hang on, that's NATO taking 6 minutes. Buemi's taken his 6 minutes now, so I think he's out completely of attack mode. Take a look at the battle screen. Everybody is now running out of the attack modes. They come through. Fastest lap to Cassidy as he runs out. The 1:25.806. Track's getting quicker and quicker as the drivers get more and more used to it out there on the circuit. And they run in once again. They haven't used that much energy, actually, under the safety car, which is okay, because they're probably going to need to keep it up later. They're probably going to need to hold it back as they take a replay to Cassidy at turn 10 and 11, hitting the curbs, picking up it, and that car really is bouncing around, and Evans is following too. So it's a nice little gap they've got at the front. Cassidy's 1.3 clear of Evans, but 5 seconds they've both got to Dennis, Josh. So it's just insane the way they've just taken off in this race.
Yeah, it really is. There's the Live Teams Championship. Envision 301 points, Jaguar 294.
Yeah, so that's going to be Envision then as champions. And Jaguar second. Avalanche Andretti, they could try, but Lotto's too far back, so it really was a 2-horse race coming in today, and it's going to be Envision who could take the Constructors' Championships as things stand, as everyone just continues to attack. Let's hear from Jake.
Team radio.
Copy, 1% down on NATO, 1% down on Mitch, 3% down on Cassidy.
Blimey, so it's all changing again. 3% down on Cassidy. Cassidy is just hitting the front, but also staying in, and is staying in contention. Exactly what we need to see, exactly how we need to see this race panning out. It's involving Lotterer and Gunther has been noted by the stewards, so they'll keep an eye on that one. it could be investigated. So keep an eye. In fact, I've just noticed there's a problem actually. Look with your driver tracker on the screen. We'll try and fix that for you. Now it seems like it's moved up a little bit, so I don't know how that's happened. Probably in an error situation from race control messages. There you go. Working now, isn't it? Back at home. Just turn on your track delta as well. There we go. Get it all sorted, all nice and ready to go. So instant involving, as I said, car 36 Lotterer and Gunther has been noted by the stewards. We'll wait to see if they decide to shape anything against that. Here's Mortara, he's P10, looking back to Tictum in P11. Tictum's got 3.5 minutes of attack mode left to activate. So they're coming in. What's happened to Josh Team? He's having some food. They've been on, there he is. We've been working all day. This race should have been over an hour and 42 minutes ago. That's why we're sort of all like, well, what's going on now?
I mean,
I'm hearing echoes, but go on.
Bird just taken more attack mode.
Yeah.
Yep, this race started an hour and 38 minutes ago.
It's been one of those days where we just want to get it over with. We're all losing our voice a little bit. Cassidy's now 2.226 clear of Evans, who is 5.4 seconds clear of Dennis. 5.546 now, so Evans is just taking off in this EPrix as you hear it, braking on the accelerator, turning into turn 1 and 2, keeps on the accelerator. So I reckon we're going to see more. Here's Tictum.
When is Mortara out of attack? He's now out of attack and he's got a window, so he could go again.
Yeah, so he's out of attack now and he's got a window. So Mortara is out. Tictum's got 2.1. Tictum's going for it on the inside line. That's very brave from Dan Tictum, and he's taken it. Fantastic move on the inside. And I just have to ask Josh T, have you got the audio plugged in? Because I'm hearing echoes.
My TV's muted, so it's not me.
Right, it's me then. Something's wrong. Hang on. Let's just check that. It's probably a lead. There we go. It's gone now.
Massive slide there from Mortaro. It's allowed Tictum to go down the inside. That was a great move. Just a replay of what we saw there. There's the twist there from Mortaro, and then Tictum takes the advantage of that. And here it is, the dry part of the circuit.
A question, where is Omi? Omi's still here, but he too is having food. So, they deserve after all day. But Omi's, he can hear us, but he's muted. So, he's going to have some food.
If in around, at the end of this race, Omi would have been in this comms box for like 12 hours.
I've done the same stint as him as well, which is insane.
Yes.
7 hours, 20 minutes. 12 hours will be in the box, which is just insane. And definitely, I can't wait to get out. My phone is at 39%, which I know doesn't sound that much, but it's been on all day. So I'm very much looking forward to getting out of this commentary box for the night and finishing it.
I would have been...
I'll film something with the Grid Network, of course, because this has gone very late. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, I would have been here for the F3 and F2 feature, but if I did, I would have only had 2.5 hours sleep.
You had a lot to do today. Let's have a Cassidy.
Pretty lonely.
Captain Mitch, 3.3, magic on and attack. Magic on and
Cassidy's gone for 6 minutes, so magic is on. That's the brake paddle magic in terms of it changes the brake pads from rear to left as well. It always changes it around, and that gives you more rechargeability as well in terms of harvesting the energy. If you want to record F1 and Formula E in that order, we will use it to transition between the two. I will indeed, a Grid Network, and I will film a separate show for F1 and Formula E with my handy red mic here, and I will send that over to you. And I'll just upload it onto the wrap-up. It's just been one of those days where everyone needs to get out of the commentary box. We may be buzzed, but we're sort of like just dead behind the eyes. As we've got a side-by-side, that's Lotterer to Costa getting involved. And there's moves further back as well with Friends and Hughes. And there's another one involved too of Lotterer. So Lotterer's actually dropped back to 21st position. Friends has got back through. So really bad little couple of corners there for everyone in the back half of the field who are out of attack mode and becoming to get struggling. So Cassidy's got 4 minutes 50 seconds left to attack. Just take a look actually for yourselves on the screen. It's always, that helps it. Go on.
55, and it should all pop up on the back of the screen there. It is for everybody to view. We're on lap 16 of 34, just under halfway, and a little bit of a cursed driver tracker with 3 safety cars.
Yeah. This is the championship final. We've had a comment on Twitch. Yes, it is. But the championship got decided yesterday. Jake Dennis is the champion. Today we're deciding the team's champions as well. But this is the last race of the year. We won't have a Formula E race again until January 2024, which is why we are experiencing a great little battle. They were so keen to get this race restarted, so I was happy to wait. But seriously, we've got to keep going. Attackman coming in now as well. Everyone's starting to get around the grip conditions. The rain has stopped. The water is starting to dissipate as we see Degrassi trying to lunge up the inside as well on Fenestras. Degrassi is out of attack mode. Fenestras has still got 8 minutes left. Now that is Evans, Dennis, Nato, Van Dorn, Bird, Buemi, Muller, Tigton, Mortara, Sente Cameron. All of those and more completely out of attack mode for the rest of the race. They've used it all in the first half because it's pointless in this race. You can't get the... In this type of race, you want the least amount of power, don't you, Josh? So that you don't lock up the rear tyres on the electric power and just keep going. They're struggling. Everyone on full power mode is struggling. Just got to get rid of it.
Yep, Fenestras has got 8 minutes left. He's not used any. Verline has got 2 minutes and 12 seconds left of his 6 minutes. He's got another 2 minutes as we go through the chicane. Nato jumping over the curves. The second chicane now at 12 and 13 again, jumping over the curves. Got to keep it out the wall and a massive slide. Another slide there. But yeah, Fenestras not used any of his attack mode, and you have to use your attack mode.
You absolutely do. It's one of those situations, one of the requirements actually of Formula E. You have to use your attack mode as well, and you have to do it correctly. You can't just sort of go, oh, I'll do it in a minute, I'll do it then. No, you have to use that specific attack mode. You can't even get away with it. Has to be it. Go on.
Look at Pascal Verline, 66% of energy, while everybody else is at 60, 61. But Dennis and NATO are at 59.
So look, they're just saving vast amounts of energy, aren't they? It's really incredible. The amount of time they are saving and the amount of time they're having to save as well, because they can't risk losing out on more time. So I'm just trying to work out on the timing screen. Go on.
Mary down the inside of Hughes. That is all the way down for 21st, but Mary nearly went into the barrier at turn 19. That was very close. Had to run a little bit deep. Now we are with the Mahindra, and this is 16th on board with Vern Degrassi behind Fenestras in front. Now will Fenestras take attack mode as we go underneath the Excel, come back on the outside, and Vern, a massive slide there, an incredibly massive slide, gets really close.
It's going to open the door as well. Da Costa coming through on the inside of Degrassi, so Vern making the mistake is going to cost Degrassi a crucial position here as into the braking zone. The wall of spray that hits you into turn 10, and Degrassi just stays ahead. Very wise from Da Costa to just get himself out of that situation, pull himself out, and not throw it up the inside and have an accident.
Yep, got to keep it safe. You do not want to end up in the barrier and the wall. We come to the attack mode. Fenestras has taken his first of his attack mode. It's a 2 minutes, so he's going 2 and a 6, but it doesn't really matter. And here's the massive slide that we saw from Vern, which then opened the door for Lucas Degrassi.
Did he get touched by Degrassi? Because Degrassi's got a damaged front nose, look. He's got that little inkplate off. So I wonder if he hit the back of... And look, Vern's rain light's out. So I reckon Degrassi hit the back of Vern, and that's why Vern slid.
Yeah, it looks like it here, back in the lead with Cassidy.
He's got let's hear from Evans.
From Verline, done it.
Copy. Anything we can do on braking? We just need to do clean laps, best we can, survive.
Yep, so just survive. That's it. But right now, the Constructors' Championship goes the way of Cassidy. Basically, Vision, with Cassidy winning the race. If Cassidy crashes out and Evans takes the lead, Jaguar win the team's championship. But it could be vice versa. What's happened to Vern? He's dropped to 18th place, and I don't think he's taken attack mode. So what's happened to Jean-Eric Vern to drop down 2 places? There he is. I think he's had a moment somewhere. Vern has dropped down quite a bit there. And and finds through. Hughes past Lotterer. Vern's dropped down to 19th. He's in big trouble. Big trouble.
Vern was deciding if he wanted to stay on track or go and catch that passing DLR train.
He was going to see the king. He's going to take it all the way, show him his electric car, not just the Jaguar that runs on white wine. That's a great car, by the way. It's an Aston Martin DB5. Sorry, DB4 that runs on white wine. Was it DB6? Can I remember which one? I think it's a DB6
it's
convertible.
A DB.
It's some DB.
And here it is. And look, contact there. Bang.
Yes. Yeah, and that unsettled Vern at the rear as soon as he got the power down because he got that jolt. So as soon as he hit the accelerator, you couldn't do that again if you tried because Vern hit the. You're gonna see it now. Look, he's gonna hit the accelerator, and now as soon as he does that, the rear of the car lifts up when he's pressing it. So when he comes back down, there's more power than was expected when it went up. So look, ready, bang. And now he comes back down, and the rear's got more acceleration. That's immediately going to spin you around. You could not do that again if you tried. You really couldn't.
Saw that a couple of times, and look at the spray there through the chicane.
wow.
We saw that a couple of times with getting tapped, and it ended in a spin. In the touring cars, getting tapped from behind, and it was one of the knackers which got spun around. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it, but if you haven't watched race 3, go and watch it. It was absolutely chaos to watch alongside from our channel.
Up the hill then, that's on JB Motorsports on YouTube in case you're watching on Twitch at this time. As they attack through once again. 2 hours 20 we've been on. We've done a lot of broadcasting today, everybody. And Lotta is down to last place. So Mary's passed him, and Lotta has just taken 4 minutes of attack mode, so we'll double check that if there's a problem. Everybody, I think, now is going to use the correct ones, because Fenestrad's just taken another 6. I think everybody's done it now. On lap 21.
Has got 3 minutes and 40, and incident involving Lotta and Gunther.
Noted, yeah.
Has been noted.
No sign of any investigation yet, which is interesting, but...
nothing.
It's coming up to 7 p.m, a race here in London, and we're all just going like, well, this is the latest race we've ever known in Great Britain. Well, literally, I can't remember a race that's gone longer than 7 in the UK. Can you?
No.
History, then?
I cannot.
We've had early races, I know that, but I don't think we've had a late race this time in the World Championship capacity. Touring cars have had night races before, but that's midnight, so it's next day. But we've never had a race go past 7 p.m. before.
Touring cars have had midnight. What? That's news to me.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, at Silverstone and Snetterton and all that lot, it was regular, actually, that a couple of times a year we'd have night races. And the tracks wouldn't be lit, so you'd be racing in complete darkness with headlights only. It was great fun. Go and have a look at them on YouTube, it's great fun.
Pace is ramping up, Sector 2 in particular.
As they scroll down. Will you tour around to the studio? We've already done it. Omi's linked it into the chat. Thank you, Omi.
And warning, that was before the comms box was cleaned.
It still hasn't been cleaned that much. The box is pretty much the same thing. It's just...
You've got a month.
It's impossible for it to be clean.
Yeah, it's always working. Hello, Omi. I know. We'll tidy it before you get here. A few days before you get here, we'll tidy it. It'll be fine. But there's what happened to Vern. That's why Vern dropped back. He got another aquaplane coming out of turn 4, and he went straight on in the braking. So that's why Vern dropped down so many places a few laps ago. If you're wondering why you're seeing 3 safety cars on your driver tracker, that is where the safety cars are located. You've got the safety car, the medical car, and the track clerk of the course car. That's why you're seeing 3 on your timing screen. But they're not out, so ignore them.
It's a little bit cursed because normally on the Formula E timing screen, one's labelled SC, one's labelled Med, and one's labelled Res for rescue.
It's one of those. Apologies for the feedback with the channel, with the World Feed commentary. That's because it's actually being broadcast inside the XL building. So when we go inside, you're hearing an echo of it as well across the feeds. So they've all got around about 50% of energy, 46 to 45. So that's not too bad. It's lap 23.34. We'll easily get to the end of this race now. They've managed to do it, and the 2023 ABB FIA Formula E season will conclude. Let's have a look at Jean-Eric then, as he's having he's into the pit lane, he's changed tyres, so he's had a puncture too. So let's have a listen to him.
Team radio as well.
You're still in the lead lap, you're still on the lead laps. It was too tight to change the front to stay in the lead laps. We've changed the rears to learn something in the rear grip.
So they've changed the rears, changed rear grip. There's Dennis,
He's got second in the championship.
By 2 points to Evans, my goodness me. How exciting is that going to be? To keep it through. And Omi, I suppose, as well. Formula E races go, you do choose your time to make a debut.
I do, don't I?
This happened in Saudi as well. It's happened a couple of times, actually. The crazy racing we have with wet races.
Voice of Dusty.
Yeah, he's disappeared again. So they attack back through. 11 laps to go in 2023. Cassidy, 123, 116. Evans, Dennis, Nato, Van Dorn. As they attack across the line. Evans is 10.2 seconds clear now of Dennis as well. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Fenestraz is the last driver on attack mode. As you can see, he's got 1 minute 21 left of that. So he's the last one on the full power. Cassidy doing amazing, isn't he, Omi? He's dominated 2.5 seconds clear of Evans, and the team's championship, rightly so far going to Envision.
Incredible by Cassidy. The lead he has, the advantage he has, absolutely incredible. I was able to watch, actually.
2 seconds.
Ready?
Gap to Mitch is 2.6. He is only stronger sector 1.
Go on, Omi.
Yeah, I was able to watch a bit of it downstairs while eating food.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I basically started watching when TikTok made the move to the inside.
Oh, yeah. Well, you haven't missed much, to be fair. There's not much going on in this race, that's why. It's one of these where we're just sort of closing out the season and there's a few slow burns, but the track is just so damp. And I'm just checking, was it starting to rain again? I don't think it is, but it's getting to that time where you just don't know what's going to happen next. And Bird, in his last race in Formula E for Jaguar, whether or not he's going to see elsewhere or he's leaving Formula E, we don't know. Rumour is he's going back to Envision as well. He's been there before, of course, before he left for Jaguar. But now we've got systems moving everywhere as Fenestraz is now out of attack mode. So that's it. Everybody has used their attack modes. It's a straight fight to the end here for the ABB FIA Formula E Season 9. And next year, 10 years will be complete. 10 years of ABB Formula E. It's unbelievable. 10 years of this sport as well. Many people say it wouldn't last 5 months.
You have Jeb 4 seconds ahead. He will get blue flags if you catch him.
Yeah, so Cassidy's been told about Jeb's 4 seconds ahead of him. 119.789 is the gap between the two of them. So it's a 123 lap. So, yep, 4 seconds. We put that down from 2 minutes to a 123. But it is it's DaCosta with a 122.729 fastest lap as they come out the last corner. Evans has changed that as attack mode has been activated for Rene Rast. Evans does a 122.556, takes the fast lap, and I think Omi as well. That's going to be absolute brilliant news as they all try and keep up and keep in the spirit of things.
Yep, they all just try. Currently, keep going. Final race. Everyone wanting to finish. End on a high. But yeah, end of July already, and the Formula E season already. So, not too good. I think championship should go a tiny bit more further into the year, maybe. But,
we've been racing since January, so we have done 7 months. If you think about it, if we go 2 months later, that takes us to September, October. So round about that's when Formula 1 used to finish. It's around about the same, but we have crammed in 16 rounds. Next year, 18 rounds of ABB FIA Formula E just to make me a little bit more treacherous, as Bird is on the back of Boemi as well, getting a bit too tight.
What track are we racing at? The next one.
The first race of the year next year, I think it's back at Dewey, I can't remember. Oh, Bird.
Okay, head down, try and get it back.
Yep.
Yeah, Boemi's past Bird. There's a couple, yeah. Boemi's past Bird, so Boemi's up to 6th place. I'm just Googling it for you as well to give you all a bit of information about what next year is going to be like for Formula E. The 2024 Formula E World Championship. The list of planned races, we start in Mexico on the 13th of January before a doubleheader in Diriyah on the 26th and 27th of January. 10th of February, we are at to be announced, as well as the 24th of February, to be announced. 16th of March, the Sao Paulo EPrix. The first ever Tokyo EPrix will be on the 30th of March. Doubleheader in Rome on the 13th and 14th of April. The Monaco EPrix on the 27th of April. Doubleheader then in Berlin on the 11th and 12th of May. Then we'll go to a to-be-announced race on the 25th of May, Jakarta on the 8th of June, Portland as the penultimate race of the year on the 29th of June, and then London for round 16 and 17 will round out the year on the 20th and 21st of July. Cape Town and Hyderabad are absent from the provisional calendar. Jakarta will become a single header, and Tokyo joins the season as a new race. So maybe the three races that are waiting to be filled, one of them could be Cape Town or Hyderabad, but we are waiting for 3 venues to be confirmed on next year's calendar. This is Boemi.
And yes, anybody who uses the Josh Team Motorsport calendar, that will be added today.
Oh, that was Boemi going right round the outside on Bird, and Bird just sort of let him through. It was very weird. And Grid Network will be on site, of course, in Portland next year, and we've got that year to plan for Portland as well, to try and get there again. So I'll be there, hopefully, next year. Unless it's like an F1 race or something that clashes, and we all go a bit like, oh. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully so. It should be good. 29th of June. What's that going to interfere with? Can't remember, really.
29th of June.
Oh, don't tell me. I probably got the date wrong. There goes Envision. Third, 304 points. Jaguar on 293 points. I'll tell you what, Josh. It was just closing out the year now. It's a quiet one, wasn't it? It's sort of been nice to get the race done. The track's dried out massively as Van Dorn slides. Last race, he'll race with #1. Dennis will take that next year. But Formula E has been Formula E this weekend massively, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And yes, there is an F1 weekend on the 29th of July.
There is an F1?
Yes.
Where is it?
Austria.
Oh, right, okay. Damn. Looks like I'll be looking for an IndyCar then, instead, from Portland. Well, actually, that might be doable if it's just Austria, because that might be doable.
There's no touring cars.
Oh, that's good then.
But currently, the only motorsport schedule I'm aware of that has been released is F1, touring cars, and Formula E.
Yeah, that's it for now. Yeah.
And most likely F2, F3 will be on there, maybe F1 Academy, and
Yeah.
probably the Porsche as well.
Yeah, but their 23 calendars hasn't been officially announced.
24, yeah.
Yeah.
24.
I know, we've got to start thinking about next year already. It's only July, but Formula E ends today. Look at this though, the battle is still brewing. As we see, Cassidy, only 1.7 seconds clear now. Evans is slowly closing the gap. Evans is going to be pushing a lot harder, so I'm looking forward to that. Fingers crossed it's going to be a good end to this championship and we don't have any massive errors. I want to say, by the way, a massive thank you to Megan. She was supposed to be with us for this race, but she's not feeling 100%, but she still finished the qualifying commentary, so thank you to her. Tictum looking on the inside and nearly losing his front wing to Muller over Batter for 8th at turn 4. And Tictum sort of have to go, he's going to have to sit back, I think, Josh, and just go, I've got to think about that a bit clearly. Beat Dan Ticton, not Dick Tantrum, is what he's known as in the paddocks.
Well, he does get quite angry very easily, does Dan Ticton. We've seen that in his Formula 2 days and, of course, in his Formula E days as well. But I can't remember where Dan Ticton's meant to be next year. Is he still with Neo?
I believe he's still with Neo. But we are going to have, like, De Vries back. Dragovic is coming in as well. Dragovic is going to take the Envision seat, actually, as well. But there's so many names coming back.
De Vries going?
De Vries, I don't know just yet, but the rumour is he's going to take Bird's seat at Jaguar, because Cassidy might be going there, but it's all hanging up in the air now. So we don't know exactly where everyone's going to be. But we will, yeah, that's going to be silly season. It's happened at the end of the year. So we will do regular updates on the Grid Network as well on our Grid Tonight shows, which air on Wednesday. So if you type in Grid Network on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to that. And that's exactly where we'll be on Grid Tonight shows on Wednesdays as well, to make sure you're up to date with all the FE off-season news and many other around the world of motorsports. In fact, tune into their wrap-up show tonight after the NASCAR race as well. And check out the preview show they did yesterday and all the shows that are going. It's a fantastic team as well we work with there. as we come in. Last 5 laps then of the 2023 season. I'm just working out because look at the points difference now. Cassidy ahead of Evans by 1 point.
Car's looking good, and they're doing really well on the wet part of the track, so yeah, so far so good.
Seem pretty calm.
We're hearing from with
10 years of
Sylvain
doing.
Felipe.
Thanks, Sylvain.
That's Sylvain Felipe, who we've seen throughout the weekend, haven't we, as Josh and Omi especially. He has looked calm all day.
He has.
And so has Cassidy. Cassidy's looked in command of this race.
He really, really has. You've got to keep it cool and look at that jumping over the curbs, Dennis.
Quickest lap at 22.4 for reference, 22.4.
Right,
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. This amazing race. It's got one more surprise to show us, hasn't it? That's what you've got a feeling of. It's never over. It never is over. Formula E going into its 10th year next year. Let's have a look at Moemi. Has he hit the curb? Oh, he's jumped over turn 10 and 11. And I'm surprised he hasn't got a puncture. Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I was. That's what I saw when I saw an invis, and I didn't want to name the driver because I didn't see exactly who it was. Added laps. Here we go. 4.
4 added laps. It will be a 38-lap EPrix. That's because of all that's the 4 laps we originally did under the safety car before the red flag mess. So it's 4 laps added, so it'll be 38 laps in total. I hope the FIA we don't want to end Formula E in embarrassment here. So it's 38 laps in total.
And now it would be a good time, TV directors, to show us how many percentage everybody has got, so we know who's going to make it.
We're not seeing all that, are we? We're just sort of seeing regen front and back power on board with Cassidy and Evans as well in terms of how much they're saving energy. But it'll be lap 34, then we go into the plus, so there's 6 laps to go, and that's a lot of energy to keep saving.
To reverse.
I need to try to now consume the energy because I'm lifting too much, to be honest.
Copy that. No need for Greek codes. We are strong on energy with catching Van Dorn. Great work.
Oh, go then. They're all fine. They can all make it. Apparently, they can all make it to the end of the race, so it's all good then. Just flat out run as they continue out of the last corner. Now, 2.1 seconds the gap, and Cassidy's just on a 1:22.167, and Evans is 2.3 seconds back. It's visibly closer than that, Josh, I think. Evans might have a run at Cassidy here, and that's the team's championship battle still going on.
Yep, it's going to go down to the last lap. It's going to go down to the last corner. It's going to go down to the last straight, no doubt, and the run to the checkered flag, because that's Formula E. That's what they do, and we've seen that in the past with endless of qualifying duels in Mexico with the spin, of course, across the line.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely. Yeah, I remember that actually. The commentary box of that one. Myself, Nick Homewood, and Ed Hunter. Neither are with us. Congratulations to Nick's sister, who got married over the weekend, and that's where he is. That's why he's not been in the commentary box with us. And Ed is in London watching the EPrix as well. So we look forward to having him on some F1 broadcasts and other series throughout the rest of the year. And then back with us in Mexico City on the 13th of January for all the action as well. And hopefully we'll have some guests with us for that opener race. It was Ed who got us Mark Preston as well in the commentary box earlier on in the year. So Mark Preston, I can't remember, but Mark was with us earlier on in the year. Very nice of him to join us 7 months ago. Still in contact, still sending him emails every now and then. Check in, make sure he's okay. As the racing action continues, it's lap 34, so we're about to start the added lap times as Cassidy has kept on. This isn't the last lap, by the way, if you're watching on Eurosport or Channel 4 or any TV pictures around the world and you've got our commentary on, as you can tell via our timing tower at the top of your screen, it will be added laps. So another 4 will get pointed in. And I think, Comey, as well, this is something that Formula 1 should look at adopting, added laps. That'd be quite fun under the safety car, because it's saving fuel after all.
Let's see it in Formula 1. but obviously they need to look at a few things first if they want to implement it. But yeah, it would make it interesting. It would mean that we don't have safety car finishes and we don't have to just red flag every time there's a few laps to go, so we can finish the race.
I reckon there should be like what do you think about this, guys? I reckon Formula One should save a couple of litres of fuel just in case we have to have a red flag restart, so we can add 2 laps to the end of the race. That'd be quite fun, wouldn't it? They always have to have this amount in.
Then people would argue, oh, it's becoming stuff like NASCAR overtime.
It's
That's
a safety
what people
net.
Would argue.
Yeah, it's a safety net, isn't it? Just in case.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
We're into added laps, by the way. Lap 35 of 38. And look at that. Sorry, Dennis, 1:21.823. The champion finished third yesterday. He's going to finish third today. And he's currently got the fastest lap of the race across the line. We're into added laps.
It would be possible, but then you've got F1 fans and F1 Twitter or F1 now.
That's true. This is, however, the longest Formula E race in history. 2 hours and 7 minutes, I am being told in my ears it has gone on for. No, 2 hours, 8 minutes. So it is the longest Formula E race in history, beating Rome Race 1 from 2 weeks ago. And it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Tom Brooks, as I mentioned yesterday, and Josh texted me about it as well, he is a curse because he has done 4 Formula E races, and in all of those races, we've had a red flag. We've had, 2, 3, 4 red flags across 3 races. He's a curse.
Yeah.
But long may he continue in this series. Ask Ben about adding laps to the scheduled distance of the race. Yeah, good point, actually, Grid Network team there. Don't ask Ben Stein about it because he hates the NASCAR overtime. I've come around to the idea about it, just in case.
I think we can all agree the NASCAR overtime for the Xfinity race at Road America was absolutely incredible yesterday.
Yeah, that's when it works. Actually, on the Grid Network, I keep plugging them because they're great, we actually did a round table during the off-season about green-white checkers. So go look at that on the Grid Network. The link for that is in the YouTube chat. I think Omer's put it in. So go and take a look, because it was fantastic round table. I cheered it, and we had both people on either sides of the thing. It was a very good debate. We should do more of those. I miss hosting those, actually. As after 12 hours, my ears feel absolutely ridiculous wearing this headset. I definitely am going to need to get out of this box soon, but I'll record the segments of Grid Network and then sign off and switch everything off and probably go jump in the lake to cool down. Dennis right there.
Get Jeff out of the way, I can't see now.
Get Jeff out the way, I can't see now. That's Vern, of course, who's a lap down and is right in front of Dennis. So it's an extra 2 minutes 38 we've been racing at the moment. We're about to start the penultimate lap of the season. Cassidy is 3.7 seconds ahead now of Evans. Evans is having to save energy. Cassidy hasn't. Let's hear from James Rouse. James Rossiter. Here's with Dario.
Pretty phenomenal race.
Oh, James Barker.
He hasn't made any errors. We are relying on an error from Nick, really, to be honest.
That Jaguar powertrain in the Envision's working pretty well as well. But yeah, fantastic job by both drivers. Thanks, James.
James Barkley there, the team principal of Jaguar TCS Racing. And they are going to finish 2nd and 7th in this race at the moment. And lose out on the constructors' standings, sadly. But that's going to go to Envision. Who's going to take it? And Envision. Yeah, by the way, Jaguar powertrains in the Envision. Yeah.
Yep.
Go on.
Look at Pascal Wehrlein. He's saved so much. He's got 14% left.
How's he done that? And he's in 10th as well. Well done to Pascal Wehrlein. 10th position. Energy-saving king. Out of the last corner then. Envision, they're not going to explode just yet. They know how easily the championship can slip away, especially with Evans in P2. It's the final lap at the 2023 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. You're watching P3 man Jake Dennis. He is already our Season 9 World Champion. Clinched it yesterday by finishing third. The battle for the Teams Championship, though, has been going on all throughout this race. Cassidy leads it.
This race.
I'm going to give the fastest lap at front now. I'm going to push like hell.
Cassidy wants the fastest lap, push like hell. See if we can help him with any points just in case. Cassidy with Envision will take the Teams Championship, but they've got to get round this XL course. He's down at turn 16, he's going to do it. Evans in second is not going to work out. It's been a thrilling, absolutely unpredictable, mesmerising, gorgeous race here in ABB FIA Formula E. It's been a season of firsts. A whole new generation of cars were brought to life, and it has been done brilliantly. Many said it was too early. It's been proved right. Dennis is the world champion, but Cassidy may have lost out, but he brings home a victory in London and brings home Envision to be the Constructors' Champions of Season 9 ABB FIA Formula E. Evans does all he could. He finishes second, and our world champion Jake Dennis finishes in third place to take 2/3 and the Season 9 trophy. A fantastic year. Dennis and Andretti are the drivers' champions. Cassidy and Vision with Boemi are the team's champions. The first year of Generation 3 concludes, and it is one we will never ever forget.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, I really like you guys.
And with Cassidy leaving the team, rumouredly, he brings them the best goodbye present ever. They're Constructors' Champions of Season 9, and now the parties can begin, with Boemi crossing the line in 6th. They've done it. They are Constructors' Champions in 2023.
Hey, man. Yeah, that was really hard. Especially being the leader, I didn't know how hard to push, but I felt amazing all race. Really happy with that.
Nearly 5 seconds at the end there. I mean, any hint of a mistake? Will you have any twitchy moments?
To be honest, not really. I felt comfortable, and it's really strange to have a race like this difficult, and not have any big moments. So I'm really proud.
Well, you should be. Great win to finish the year, second in the Drivers' Championship, and your team are the team's champions, so well done.
Amazing job.
Envision Racing are the world champions of 2023. Jake Dennis in the Andretti is the Drivers' Champion, and the first year of Formula E concludes in Generation 3, and it was beautiful. 16 races across 13 different countries, and it couldn't have gone any better. Josh T, what a year, what a race.
What a year, what a race, as you said. Driver of the day, Nick Cassidy with 44% of the vote. Here he is, Nick Cassidy comes down towards victory lane in the XL, goes below the Sparks.
All good there, aren't they? Wow. And Omi, coming to you, what did you make of the Formula E race then here today? Good decision to go racing in the end.
Yeah, good decision. And they really should have just waited. We wasted a few laps right at the beginning, but we did get 4 laps added on. However, yep, great Formula E race, great way to end the season. And yep, cannot wait till it begins once again in January.
That's our first season done then, everybody. The season review will be out sometime in, it'll be the first out actually. It's first done, so first out, and that'll be in our Motorsport December, where we will review the year and we will show every single race as well throughout December. That's what we're planning anyway. It's going to be a long off-season.
Points.
Look at that. That's how much it was. Envision Racing on 304 points, Jaguar TCS on 292, Andretti 252, Porsche 242, Penske, DS Penske 163, Maserati MSG 140, Nissan 95, Leon McLaren 88 down there too. Mahindra not scoring, and neither did Apt. They're not even on the bottom of the board. And in the Drivers' Championship, 30-point gap. Jake Dennis to Nick Cassidy, 229 to 199. Evans now drops to third, 197. Verline, 149. Vern, 107. Boemi, 105. Gunther, 101. Bird, 95.
It was a really close championship, right to the end, going down to the final 2 races here in London. And what a couple of days it has been here at the London XL.
And
Can't
breathe,
wait
everybody.
to do it all again.
Everyone's tired now. Everyone's like, okay, they can all celebrate, but when can we go off air? 3 hours. It will be over 3 hours, I reckon. Let's go down and listen to our new champions.
Your team has just won the Teams World Championship. Congratulations. Fantastic job.
Thank you. It took us 9 years. An incredible feeling. It was an incredible season, so close. Incredible job from the team, and as you know, a very close collaboration with Jaguar, who have given us the most amazing car. That is just fast on every circuit, and that got us to this point.
The recovery from yesterday again.
Yeah, I wish you'd have seen the pep talk and all the chats last night until late last night to regroup everyone, but ultimately our team is very strong, and that's why I'm so proud of them.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Huge congratulations to Sylvain Philippe and the whole of the Envision Racing team as they become the team champions of Season 9.
Yeah, very well done as well. Amy, what do you reckon? What do you make of all that?
Great race. Really enjoyed it.
Sorry, about all, the weekend as a whole. All the broadcasting we've done.
As a weekend as a whole, wow. It's been fun across Formula 1, and Formula 2 and Formula 3. Formula 2 being absolutely cracking this weekend as usual. Formula 3 also being good as well. Obviously the sprint race was a safety car race, but today's feature was thrilling. Formula 1, also I'd say a bit of a decent race as well today, but hopefully someone can challenge Red Bull so we can take it, so then we can have some, so then we can call a race run this season extraordinary. And then what else have we done? Touring cars.
I'll watch those tomorrow.
Yeah, touring cars are pretty good. Also had a lot of delays as well. Qualifying yesterday was good for it. And
I'll watch those tomorrow.
Anything else?
No,
Porsche Super Cup?
Porsche was good. Yeah, I'll watch those tomorrow. Actually, the touring cars. I'll catch up tomorrow on the 2 I missed, and then get ready for Knock Hill in 2 weeks' time. Let's go down to our top 3.
Nick Cassidy, you have just helped your team to win the Team Championship 2023 at Formula E. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, mixed emotions, but ultimately I'm very, very happy because today was a super difficult day for me. It's no secret, I didn't sleep well last night. I arrived late, but I did the business, so I'm proud.
You absolutely did the business. A word for your team. It's the Team Championship. They've worked so hard, not just this weekend, throughout the year.
You know, they're absolutely incredible, an incredible bunch of people, and they work so hard. Of course, every team does, but these guys, they've been close on so many occasions, and I think that shows how strong they are in this championship. Now, to finally get it done for them, I'm super, super happy.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Envision. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Great for Nick Cassidy to end his season on a high, and Ollie, he controlled that race just so beautifully at the front. Never looked like he was fallible under pressure at all.
Yeah, he did. You wonder if that rooster tail and the spray coming off that car in the beginning of this race kind of hindered Mitch Evans not being able to understand the conditions quite as quick as Nick Cassidy, not being able to see where those puddles were. So that's always can play a factor in wet conditions. So difficult with it drying as the rain stopped at the very beginning of this race. So each lap became faster and faster, and that's really hard for a driver to understand. How hard can I push in this next lap, because it's going to be completely different.
And he had a lot of pressure put on him by Mitch Evans over the course of that race. You can see some New Zealand fans down there on the start-finish straight as the track invasion now begins. But Cassidy, whenever Mitch Evans put the pressure on him, he was able to respond so well.
Yeah, when you're out front like that and it's difficult to overtake, you feel like you're in complete control of the race and dictating the pace. He can decide, what kind of risk he wants to take.
Well, let's have a chat with Mitch Evans then, who finished in 2nd place for Jaguar. and see what his thoughts are after the final race of the year.
Mitch Evans, no one can question how much effort you just put into that race. Second in the London EPrix and second in the Drivers' Championship with Jaguar TCS. How do you assess that?
Obviously a bit of disappointment. We were hoping to obviously finish world champions in the teams, and me finish second. But look, Nick did a great job. Vision guys did a great job. He could cover me or respond to me when I was catching him, and just didn't have enough. So full credit to him. I get my best, but I just came up a little bit short.
And in terms of your team, throughout the year, the calendar, whether there's been incidents on day one, day two, they've managed to sort it out, get a new car, just a word for their effort.
Yeah, just a massive thanks to everyone in Jaguar, TCS Racing, and Jaguar as a whole. Obviously, we can take a lot of pride out of the Envision World Championship as well. So, yeah, thanks to everyone. We'll keep pushing on over the off-season and come back stronger next year.
We'll look forward to see it. Well done.
Thanks.
Well, great to hear there from Mitch Evans. Jaguar TCS Racing ultimately ending up second in the team standings. And here are some highlights from Mitch's race. Once we finally got green flag racing underway, we began here nearly 2.5 hours ago, believe it or not.
I don't think we have ever seen a motor race where half the track is dry and half the track is wet. So that was fun to see.
Oh yeah, it made it certainly very unique, didn't it? And the standing water that we saw, I mean, look here with Mitch Evans, the rooster tails that were being kicked up by those cars and the lack of visibility. And a huge credit to all 22 drivers on the field. They all kept it out the wall. Amazing performance. Let's chat though to the man who finished in third place, Jake Dennis, the newly crowned 2023 champion after another podium this year.
Jake Dennis, about the most unique day you can have in Formula E. You started it as world champion, you're still world champion, you finished on the podium again, and just had the most relaxed ride, plus all the delay.
I know, yeah, another podium in the books. We're obviously beating our own records right now, and to really, yeah, get the podium at the end of the day was special. It's such difficult conditions with the wet and dry sections, but I mean, yeah, we managed to do it, keep it out of the wall, and yeah, we were pretty quick when we needed to be. But yeah, I think, yeah, just needed a clean race, try and get that podium, and yeah, celebrate now with everyone, and yeah, really try and let it all sink in.
And just finally, a word for your team. Obviously for yourselves, it wasn't so much about trying to win the team championship, but the reason you are the drivers' champion is because of so many people behind the scenes.
I mean, yeah, I have to thank these guys, every individual, all of them. You know, they put in so much hard work, not just this year, but also last year. You know, it's been such a team effort, and yeah, we've scored so many wins, so many pole positions, and so many, obviously, so many podiums, and yeah, get to celebrate with them tonight. Really looking forward to that, and yeah, call it a season, and then come back tomorrow. Come back next year, sorry, and I'll be hungover tomorrow. That's what I will be, and yeah, just enjoy it.
A few sparkling waters tonight?
No, definitely not. Don't know what my drink of choice will be, but there'll be one.
Well done, mate.
Let's go out to Nikki.
Oh, there's going to be plenty of celebrations, that's for sure. I mean, Jake Dennis there didn't really get to celebrate his title win yesterday, so today is it's going to be a big one tonight. I mean, I know it's been a long day for everyone, and thank you so much for everyone bearing with us through all of the delays, but it was worth the wait and the party tonight. Are you going to the gala dinner?
No, I got to go home
on
tonight.
Your posh frock?
No, not tonight.
I'm following him home. I mean, I'm hoping you're drinking sparkling water tonight.
Yeah, don't worry. I will be putting my feet up. But
you might have more pressing engagements, Nikki.
There are 22 other drivers who are ready to let their hair down. I think no matter what the result has been for them this year, everyone has put in so much effort. Blood, sweat and tears have really gone into every race to be here. And there's obviously a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes as well, not just the team members that are here, but also the ones back at base at HQ. But now I think it is about time to get the podium celebrations underway for one final time this season of the 2023 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Let's go celebrate.
Cheers, Nikki, Dario and Karun. There we go then, onto the podium. We can set out the sparks, chaps. You don't want to get anything burned. A fantastic podium here in London, above the XL and on the top of the pit lane area as well. Truly fantastic. There's is that Jaden Smith? Will Smith's son, anyway. The winning team for Envision. They get their constructors through once again. So it's a fantastic race win for Envision. They get the team's championship. Nick Cassidy will be the winner, but it's Jake Dennis who finishes third in both races here in London, who takes the Drivers' Championship of 2023 and Season 9. Second place, Mitch Evans. Won here yesterday. Second best, I'm afraid. But well done, a very well done to Mitch Evans. A truly spectacular performance. And our race winner, pole position yesterday, got a penalty. Got then put out of the race by his teammate. Pole position today, though, once again, led every single lap throughout all the rain, the wind, the chill and the rain. It was all him. As he leaves Envision, he gives them the best ever present. For the fourth time this year, it's Cassidy victorious. He signs the camera, and Nick Cassidy will be on the top step of the podium, and we will hear once again this year the New Zealand national anthem. It's been an absolutely insane day, an insane season of Formula E. More of this in the future. Sebastian Buemi wearing the team shirt. Got to be congratulating of your team. He wants to come back next year, though, and take more victories. Hasn't won now in 4 seasons. Sebastian Buemi's got a lot to prove. But let's cross over now for the national anthem here in New Zealand. And now for Envision, we will hear, I believe, the British national anthem. The British national anthem here for Envision. Well done to Jake Dennis and Andretti for winning the Drivers' Championship. Well done to Nick Cassidy, Sebastian Buemi and Envision for winning the Team's Championship. Season 9 has once again been a race we will never, ever forget. It's been another chaotic one. Blofeld himself will present the trophy to the team as well for Envision in the Constructors' Championship as well. I now want to watch Spectre. So I've got 3 away before then. I've got to watch Quantum of Solace next. That's the next movie me and Megan are watching. We've watched them all before, but we're watching them back now. So, third place for Jake Dennis then on the podium. Another great season. He is our world champion, and he will definitely be having a hangover tomorrow. Well done, Jake. Well done. Top dollar. Mitch Evans will be second on the grid. And once again, well, to go through And across, Mitch Evans takes second place. Hands up, well done. The air horns go off. And Jaden Smith will present the trophy to Nick Cassidy and have an absolutely fantastic run. Cassidy dominates here in London's race 2, and the winner's trophy by Jaden Smith. Envision a champions, Cassidy's a race winner. What a season. For the last time, the Magnum will be presented. What a year it's been of ABB Formula E. For the final time in season 9, the big bottle is delivered. It's time for the celebrations. It's champagne time. Formula E wraps up another great year. What on ever can we do next? Season 10 kicks off on the 13th of January. We hope to see you there. Testing will be in October. We'll bring you coverage of all the highlights as well. But Formula E has put its name on the mark once more. Generation 3 has worked. Envision with Cassidy and Buemi are the Constructors' champions. Jake Dennis is the Drivers' champion. Long may he reign. London has delivered. We'll see you soon. So let's confirm how they finished then here for the London EPrix as we sign off here in another amazing championship year. It's Cassidy who is, let's just actually turn off TweetDeck. That might be a start there. Let's confirm how they finished there. Nick Cassidy takes the victory. Alongside him is Mitch Evans in second. Jake Dennis finishes third. Norman Nato is fourth with Stoffel Van Dorn fifth. Sebastian Buemi is sixth. Sam Bird seventh. Nico Muller is eighth. Dan Tickton ninth. And Pascal Verline is 10th. Eduardo Mortara 11th, just outside the points, followed by Rene Rast, Sergio Sete Camara, followed then by Max Gunther, Sasha Fenestras, Antonio Felix da Costa, Robin Frines, Lucas de Grassi, Jake Hughes, Roberto Meri, Andre Lotter, and Jean-Eric Verne finishing down in 22nd place, but still finishing. Okay, let's wrap up. Josh, quickly from you, what have you made of this weekend and, of course, this season? Because you've been seeing quite a lot of it, actually.
Yeah, I've been watching quite a lot of Formula E this weekend when it hasn't clashed. Well, no, this weekend and
this season
when it hasn't clashed with anything, which is quite rare because Formula E does like clashing with other things. But it's been a good season. I really hope that the FIA and the championship do something. Do a little tweak to the Gen 3 cars so we see less airborne crashes, because they are literally like a plane at some places. You can get the nose underneath other cars and nosedive, and we've seen that, and it's not nice.
I agree with you 100%. Omi, first time watching the Formula E for the last couple of years as well. First time in the comms box today. What have you made of London Race 2?
A good one. I didn't get to watch race 1, but yes, I had the delays, but we did manage to get some racing in. And this season the way we wanted it. So it's been a great Formula E season, but as Josh T said, a lot of crashes, a lot of big crashes we've had this year. So hopefully something does get sorted for next season.
It's going to be a lot of fun. My thanks to you both for joining me in the commentary box as well. And we'll come to the main screen now as well with the results alongside us. So, what began in early January in Mexico City now wraps up here in late July in London. My thanks to everybody who has made Formula E possible on the YouTube channel this year as well. It has been utter joy. We will be back to cover Season 10 in January. Plenty more sports, though, to come this season. Next week, it is MotoGP's British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Grid Network is the place to be as well to make sure you're across everything for motorsport news, views and opinions as well. But Formula E's first year in Generation 3 has been very, very exciting. So many different winners. We thought at one stage it was going to be a washout with the Porsche powertrains, with Porsche and Andretti taking it. How wrong we were. Yes, Dennis won the title, but Envision fought back to win the team's championship. It has been a season of Formula E we will never forget. We'll be back for season 10 in January 2024. From us all here at JB Motorsports, my thanks for the entire team and to you watching Formula E this year. Plenty of other sports to watch though here on the channel, but for Formula E, it's Envision who are the team's champions, but Jake Dennis is your 2023 ABB FIA Formula E season champion. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Sign-off. Well, we do a perfect sign-off, but have to come straight back on air. So that's embarrassing. We've just been told that they are actually going to do a very special presentation. They did cancel it, and they weren't going to do it at the gala tonight. But we're now going to get the top 3 trophies, Josh T. So we're not quite done yet. As much to our knowledge, I'm glad we didn't stop any of the streams and we kept going. So stay with us because we've actually got a little bit more to do. That's annoying. I did a lovely sign off and then they've thrown this at us at the end. But they are actually doing the Jake Dennis Drivers' Championship as well. They weren't supposed to do this, but they've decided to do it now instead of at the gala tonight.
Yeah, they've been like, yeah, we've got time, why not? Even though we are as a, yeah, only the tiniest little bit of late.
Yeah, I'm just hearing it all in the background as well. It's very weird, actually, all this. It's very strange as they come on. This is the team's champions now being awarded. Coming onto the podium. I'm going to have to put my headset back on, hang on.
So, Envision.
Yes, here we are. Envision coming on.
World champion.
I just signed off. I did a perfect sign-off. Well, that's just typical, isn't it? Absolutely typical. A perfect sign-off. I have to come back on to do it. Say again? Yeah. They drag us back. Okay. Season 10, everybody. It started early. Right, the Constructors' Champions, of course, for Envision. Well done to them. And now Mitch Evans. He finishes 3rd in the Drivers' Championship for 2023. Like 100%, I was convinced we weren't seeing it. Like we were told we weren't, and then all of a sudden it's just happened. 2nd place in the Constructors' Championship, though. Sorry, the Team's Championship. That goes to Nick Cassidy. And yeah, so it's going to be our Drivers' Champion this year. For a different, it's our 2nd podium. I'm glad we came back on here, actually. And then we'll do another sign-off in a minute. This is our forum, actually, isn't it? We've signed off the main show. This is our forum show now. It's a separate show. I'm glad we didn't actually press stop streaming then. We're back with you. But our world champion for this year, it's Jake Dennis. You can't stop him. He's been absolutely brilliant. Your season 9 champion is Jake Dennis. Fantastic. He signs the camera. Are we going to hear the British national anthem again? As he stands on the top, he's our world champion of season 9. The 2022-2023 ABB FIA Formula E champion. And we are going to hear, in Jake Dennis's honour for being world champion, the British national anthem once again.
Formulary World Championship.
What a championship year we've got coming up next season as well. I can't wait. Jess has joined, but she's on mute. But hi, Jess, you were with us in Berlin.
Hello.
What have you made of Formula E?
I think I really enjoyed the Gen 3 cars. The race I covered was absolutely amazing. But good job to Envision for winning the team's championship, and well done to Dennis for winning the drivers. But I enjoyed covering the races that I did because it was absolute chaos.
It really was.
Good chaos.
Yeah, and I enjoyed commentating with you back in Berlin. I think we did another one as well, didn't we? I can't remember which one. After
No, we didn't. I think I just did Berlin. I think.
Was it just Berlin? We weren't in the commentary box any other races.
No.
Oh,
no.
okay. Oh, I thought we were. It's been a long season of Formula E. We can't place it all together in the end. There's Mitch Evans. He finishes third in the Constructors' Championship, sorry, in the Team's Championship. No, hang on, in the Drivers' Championship. Such a long day. We've been focusing on everything. As they come in once again, they'll have the attack to continue. So Chris Hoy, a six-time Olympic gold medalist, will present Nick Cassidy with second place in this year's championship. But it's never official until you get the hands on that trophy, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. There it is, the Formula E Julius Baer World Championship trophy. Jake Dennis makes it 8 different world champions in 9 different years of ABB Formula E. He had it nearly in season 7. He's done it in season 9. Jake Dennis is the world champion officially. He's been handed the trophy. That's it. It's official. Absolutely epic. Another champagne moment? Why not? Let's have it. Yes, go. Deliver this Magnum. It's a heavy bottle. It's a Magnum bottle of champagne, by the way. So that's quite a lot. It's around about 5 litres. I don't know how much is the Magnum, but here we go then. It's champagne time for the champions! Jake Dennis! A great season. Now the party can begin. And the eruptions of the confetti. What a year it has been. Jake Dennis is our champion. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable year we've had of ABB FIA Formula E. Really can't wait to see what's going to happen in season 10. Sylvain Philippe as well, getting involved with the champagne sprays. Okay, closing words. Jess, what's your closing word for the season of Formula E?
Great season. Hopefully less crashes. I'm excited for the next one.
Omi?
Same with Jess, hopefully less crashes, but it's been a cracking year this year.
And Josh T, your closing thoughts?
Yes, it really has. Hopefully for the same great action next year. The 10th season of Formula E, the 2nd of Gen 3. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it already, but we have to wait around 6 months now.
The balls get thrown out as well, the inflatables, as the photo gets trophy. Hang on a minute. The trophies get photoed as well, and everyone will
Jesus
get
Christ,
ready.
man. It's been a long day.
It has. It's been over 12 hours me and Omi have been in the commentary box now, haven't we, Omi?
You two
Coming
have
up
a
to
break.
12 and a half,
12 and a
hours.
half hours, yeah, you're right. It's getting
Have a
happening now.
break, you two.
So this is going to be really strong, a really interesting day. Dennis, congratulating him on with the trophy. It's been one of those days and one of those years in Formula E. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. He'll sink in. It'll all sink in now. He'll kiss the trophy as he is. He's getting it up there. Throws it up in the air. A world champion. You never forget that feeling, ever. No matter what anybody tells you. We are the champions in the XL, blaring out. Definitely no time for losers. It's been that type of year. Well, my thanks to everybody who's been part of the commentary team this year. We've already done this outro once, but we had to come back for the emergency session as well. Just a quick thank you from me as well for watching us here on YouTube and Twitch throughout the 2023 season for Formula E. Loads of other sports, as I said, Silverstone next weekend. But Generation 3 has got off to one of the best starts. It's been exciting, it's been energetic, it's been eventful. My thanks to everybody involved in making this show possible. We will see you all next time on the 13th of January 2024 for Season 10. Jake Dennis is your world champion. From us all here, we'll have a good summer's break. We'll see you for Formula E next year, but we'll see you soon for everything else. Take care. Goodbye from Season 9.